All right, what's going on, family? We're live. We live. What's going on? It's gonna give a second for everybody to tune in. Give a second for everybody to tune in before we get it popping. This is just touchdown Thursday, but really a tune-in session. Tune-in sessions are typically during the day, but it's gonna be one of those check-in sessions, tune-in sessions. Just touching bases with y'all. Nothing dynamic today. Got a lot going on this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then next weekend, I'll be in Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. So after that trip, all of our sessions afterwards would be more centralized on a particular subject matter. And then in October, that's when we're going to start our, or maybe last Tuesday in the month, we'll be starting our KHM holistic research paradigm for Bible study classes. All right. So that we're going to try to get ready and prepared, because a lot of people hit us up wanting to learn, methodology that we utilize to extract the most out of the text. And we want to be able to deliver that to you guys and not hold back. We want to equip you with every tool in the tool shed so you guys can get the job done. All right. And we're here to help with that. All right. So as people start streaming in, just want to say peace and shalom. Thank you for everybody who's joining in. Shout out to Shema, Yahoshua, Shema, Consuelo F, Set Apart Heart, Deborah Newsom, what's going on? Ryan Smith, Sister Jessica Armstead, Sister Bina, Ryan Smith. I said what's up to you already. Double honors. King Hamilton, what's going on? Brother James, aka Get Wise, Gartrell McKinney, Sydney Woods, what's going on, King? Dimitri Elder, Ice You Cold, Sharuka Israel, what's going on, fam? What's going on? This week been pretty swamped this week, taking care of a lot of things, responding to a lot of inquiries, doing some one-on-one consultations. I still got some lined up, so I know some of y'all have reached out to me, waiting on a response, waiting on a consultation. Trust me, I'm getting to you, right? Just got a lot going on. So just so you guys are aware, this Saturday is an event that's going on out here in Atlanta at the Georgia World Congress Center. It's being put on by Tariq Nasheed, who's the host. It's called the African American Foundational Conference. The flyer is up. I have it up on the community tab. Matter of fact, I'll show it to you guys so you guys can see it. And then also what I'm going to do is show you guys the actual document that was sent to me so you guys can take a look at it. It's called the Foundational Black American Conference. All right. Now, being that event is going down out here in Atlanta, Sanetta, apparently from what he told me, should be traveling out here to Atlanta. I know Jabari Osaze is going to be part of that. Boyce Watkins, Judge Joe Brown, Baba Clemente is going to be here. And I forgot the other two speakers, but I'm going to bring up so you can see them on the screen. So you guys can see the flyer and also see the itinerary. All right, if anybody's interested, I'll be there speaking at 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. At 30 minutes, I'll be talking about what do we do after the protests are over. And y'all already know what I push towards, that's autonomy. So I'm going to build a little bit on that for about 30 minutes. Just so that the people are aware of what their options are and what they can be equipped to do after the protesting is over. I tell people all the time, if you're protesting, it's because you're speaking from a position of powerlessness, right? Because only people without power protest, okay? If you have power, you don't protest, you negotiate. And there's other things that you're able to do because you have leverage. But when you are powerless, you have to protest because that's your voice of speaking out against anything that works adversely against your community. And that's the problem with our community. Because we're not autonomous, we lack power. And because we lack power and control of our own social affairs, when injustices happen from external entities, we cry out and we ask those same external entities to bring us justice when they're the same ones oppressing us. When you have autonomy, it creates that safeguard around your community. So that way you govern your affairs within your community and you lessen, deduce, or minimize the adverse effects that happens within the community. But my premise is you can't do that unless you have a restored culture that can bring everybody closer together, that they can agree on common denominators, ethics, morals, initiatives, etc. And then strengthened by that, they can then self-govern their politics, self-govern their economics, self-govern in their health, their education, self-govern in the beautification of their communities, etc., etc. Right? It's a very simple solution, but in order to bring it about, it takes a lot of work, effort, and collaboration. Okay. So that's pretty much what I'm going to disseminate on Saturday. Now, being that Sonetta's coming down tomorrow, that's what he told me. The hotel where most of the speakers at. So I'm native to Atlanta. Well, native meaning that I live here now. So I don't need a hotel, anything like that. But all the other speakers will be at a hotel downtown from where I'm at. So that's where they're going to have their little powwow session. So I was invited to sit in onto this powwow session and speak with all of them. I don't know if they're going to have a round table. I don't know if it's going to be informal. I don't know what it is, but that's Friday night, right? You know, typically Friday nights we go live for Freestyle Friday. We may not go live for Freestyle Friday because of that little powwow session. However, I will strive my best to live stream that session so you guys can catch it on this channel. All right. So you guys have something for Friday nights, because y'all forbid if I skip a Friday, y'all just let me have it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to continue to give the people what they want. So I'm going to do that. So Saturday, again, is the event. It starts at 3 p.m. and it ends, I think, at 10 p.m. or something like that. So that's all day Saturday. You know, and, you know, for me, there's no work and no buying and selling during the Sabbath from sunrise to sunset. OK, so I'll make sure I'm eating and all of that before I get down there, so that way I can weather through until the sun starts to set. All right. And also on Sunday, there is a Shofar in a Park event. It's a Jewish community, because there's several Jewish communities out here in Atlanta, but a Jewish community is putting this on for their community and for outsiders. So I'm going to touch ground there with a photographer, videographer, and we're going to get some shots, get some footage. I'm going to ask the Jewish community there, you know, certain questions. You know, I'm not going to be disruptive to their event, you know, but when there's downtime and there's breakout or whatever, you know, session, people get to talk or whatever the case may be, then I'll be able to commence with asking questions, engaging conversation. So I'm going to ask them, hey, you know, what do you guys think about the notion that African Americans are now awakening to a claim of identity from the Israelites of the text, you know, the Tanakh, you know what I'm saying, see what their position is and say, hey, you know, Black people as a community, do you believe if there's communities in the diaspora that they should have their own halakha as it pertains directly to the needs of the community, you know, and, you know, do you agree that halakha should not be binding for everybody? What is there now? You know, that was developed, you know, as a cultural response to issues that a community was having in Israel, and then the shift from Israel to Babylon, right? That is disconnected from the other communities in a diaspora prior to that incident happening. Okay. And see what their position is on that, you know, and also, you know, kind of build with them and say, okay, well, are you guys Zionists, right? Do you guys believe that, you know, the state of Israel is sanctioned by the Most High? And if so, do you support it? If you don't support it, why not? You know what I'm saying? And then also, yeah, you know, can you guys prove that you have a lineage to the individuals in the Tanakh? Do you have proof of that? Can you go over your genealogical record with us if you have it, or if you know it? And just kind of like, you know, fill out on the fly some questions, throw it their way, see what they say, give some feedback and input, and try to capture a good amount of footage, and try to capture at least 30 minutes to an hour, maybe 15 minutes. I don't know what to expect when I get there. I don't know how much time I'll have to engage them or whatever, but I'm gonna do the most to try and get some good footage for you guys in the thick of a Jewish community having their Rosh Hashanah. So I'm going to probably be the only Israelite there, you know what I'm saying, that look like me. The rest of them are going to be Jews. So they might crowd me. They might double team me, triple team me. You know, it's a handicap match. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to go to this event. I'm going to see what it's about. And I'm trying to capture some footage on Sunday. So from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm booked. And then next week, I'm preparing for the trip to Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. So I'll be out in Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. The flyer's already out. I'm going to show you guys both flyers now, show you the itinerary for the event this Saturday. And if you guys are in the DMV area, you know, when I get there on Friday, we're going to do, you know, the outreach, you know, if that's what you want, street outreach, where, you know, we're going to go out there where Black Lives Matter Square is at. I'm going to go out there and we're going to talk to the people, engage them, hand out flyers, and just build. You know, we're just going to just freestyle and talk informally and just build while we out there in the street with the people, right? Like we did in Dallas. We're going to do the same thing in Washington, D.C. And then that Saturday, next Saturday, is the KHM DMV or DC Baltimore chapter launch event. And then that Sunday, we're having a seminar for the Jubilee May Mission Credit Repair Debt Elimination Services affiliate program and consultant program, as well as we're going to do the Natural Path to Eden health consultation services affiliate program and consulting program. So those of you who are in the DMV area, Baltimore, DC, North Virginia, and you guys have the time and you can make it out for all 3 of these days, great. If you can make it out to just one, you got Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. If you can make it out to 2 of 3, great. 1 of 3, 3 of 3, it's all up to you. All right, but we're touching down in the DMV area and we're making waves. All right, DMV needs KHM. We need to come out there, galvanize the people, and get the work done in these streets. You know what I'm saying? On behalf of the Most High, to be the light unto the nations. Okay, that's what we need to do. Find a practical means of applying what it is that we learn and being able to enact real change to be the catalyst to destroy the societal ills that's plaguing our community. You know what I'm saying? Find a way to destroy those yokes that's been placed on our people of bondage and liberating freedom for those things. You know what I'm saying? And we can do that. Actually, we should be the community everybody should look for when things go down. Okay. And we should not go outside ourselves initially if we need something. So this is what we're there to initiate. Okay. We're there to spark the flame. Okay. To get things going. All right. And we just want the people to come out, support, and get in line, you know, with this initiative, because I mean, it's only going to change your community for the better. There's nothing you have to lose. You feel what I'm saying? So, so anyway, let me go ahead and show you guys these flyers real quick. And then after that's done, then we can get busy. Okay, we get busy. I'll chat with y'all for a little bit. I'm not going to stay on too long tonight. I always say that, but I really don't plan on staying on long tonight. I want to get some rest. But then after that, I want to let you guys know what else we have going down that I know you guys will enjoy. All right. So let me go ahead and show you guys the first flyer real quick. All right. So here is, let me bring it up. Hold on 1 second. All right. Yeah, so let me know. Hit 1 if the audio and video is on point as well. Hit 1 if the audio and video is fine. Want to make sure there's no issues with the audio and video. Hit 1 if the audio and video is fine. All right, hit 1. All right. All right, so shout out to Melanated King in the building, Otis Miller, Ryan Smith, Christian Mayfield, what's going on? In Search of Yah, Kevin Jones, what's up? 617, let's get it. Sister E in the building. Sadaria Halliburton, Remarkable Ministries, what's going on? Anointed 777, daughter of Yah, what's up? Franklin Galman, Jack Max, what's going on? M. Moore, Ascent of Phoenix, Austin, Texas. Brother David, Strong Island, keep it a buck, what's going on? Sister Shan 916, Sheikah Johnson, what's up? Rufus Kemp, what's going on? Dr. Noriya Yisrael, what's going on? Sis Yaakov Ben Yasharala. Man, what y'all doing up at 11:56 p.m., man? I know some of y'all got to go to work. Some of y'all got to homeschool your kids tomorrow, but you're here with us. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. Shout out to Saya Y in the building. What's going on? Karataza. What's going on? Aki WGN forever. Alex McCaskill, Renzo Roberson, Mr. Blacktastic. What's going on, family? What's going on, man? Thank y'all for chiming in. Let me know that the audio and video is on point before we get started. I appreciate that. All right. So what you're seeing here on your screen is the flyer for the event that's going down this Saturday. It's called the Foundational Black American Conference. Tariq Nasheed is the host, and Jade Arundel is the co-host. Dr. Kaba Kamene is going to be there. Riza Islam is going to be there. Dr. Boyce Watkins, Jabari Osaze, Dr. Charm Timms, and Judge Joe Brown. So all of these individuals are panelists that's going to be giving a brief speech, lecture, whatever you want to call it. And then afterwards, there's going to be a panel discussion prior to the main event starting at 5 p.m. With Tariq Nasheed. Is going to be me and a couple other people that's going to be speaking before the main event begins. And the reason why it's like that is because I was asked to join at the last minute before the combination was made. The itinerary was already drafted up. So they attached me on at the last minute. Sonetta told me about the event and said Tariq Nasheed was looking for a speaker, an additional speaker. So he put the bug in Tariq Nasheed's ear. Tariq Nasheed said, yeah, let me speak to Divine, did the conference call. Everything went well. Tariq said, yo, send me something over. Send him some of my work over that he hasn't seen yet. He liked it. And he used what I sent for him to put me in a position to speak about the topic in regards to protesting. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to break that down, like I just disseminated with you earlier, and let the general public know that comes out to the event. You know what I'm saying? What's the next step after the protesting is over? And it's crazy because every time I went to one of these marches or protests, that's pretty much what I was there to talk about. Like, what's next? You know what I'm saying? But this is the flyer. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and show y'all the itinerary document that was sent out to people who registered. Just so you know, there's a website to go to. It was just on the screen. Let me bring it back up for y'all so y'all can see it. Okay. The website is down there. You go to that website so you can get your tickets. All right. You go to that website there so you can get your tickets. All right. It's www.fbac2020.com. All right. That's where you go get your tickets. If you want to come out to the event, there is a cost and it varies. So you want to go to the website and see about securing your ticket. All right. I'll definitely be out there. If you are in the Atlanta area, I'll be here. And if you guys want to chop it up with me afterwards, I mean, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem. So anybody in the Atlanta area, come out to this event. Like I said, I'm speaking from 4:30 to 5. So if you just want to come out and see me speak, make sure you're there at 4:30 to 5. And I'll probably just be lingering around while the other speakers are speaking and just wait to come back during the open panel discussion and Q&A at the end. And I'll be sitting down on the panel with these other individuals and taking whatever questions comes our way. All right. Shout out to Benai Israel in the building. What's going on? Andre Bell, Shakar, Yara Ya. What's going on? Chris Bronson. Thank you so much for the donation, King. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for showing love, family. All right. I know we're going to make some of the haters mad every time a donation comes his way. They just mad. They just mad. Just mad for no reason. They be up at 2, 3 in the morning watching this channel, just mad, just angry. I don't know how people do it, man. I know I can't do it. To me, that's just demoralizing. I wouldn't do that to myself. That's torture. But to each his own, I guess. So here's the just so you guys can see. Here is the document that was sent in regards to the event. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's clear on your screen. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this with y'all real quick so you can see it. All right. This is the Foundational Black American Conference 2020, September 19, 2020, Georgia World Congress Center, Atlanta, Georgia. All right. All right. This is Tariq Nasheed. He took some great images, man. Great images. And it says here, Foundational Black Americans are the culture. Tariq Nasheed, activist, organizer of the FBAC 2020 conference. All right. It says the Foundational Black American Conference 2020 is the first event of its kind to focus on the culture, history, achievements, and goals of foundational Black Americans specifically. All right. Foundational Black Americans are the descendants of the people who have survived one of the greatest atrocities in recorded history, American slavery. FBA are the descendants of the Black people who built the United States from scratch. But this history did not start in 1619. The history of FBA started almost 100 years earlier. Hold on. Let me zoom in more so y'all can see that. There we go. All right. The first documented foreign settlers in the New World of North America were the enslaved Black people who were brought over by Spanish colonizer Lucas Vasquez de Ayllon in 1526. Shortly after Ayllon and the 600 other Spaniards' arrival to the area that would later become the South Carolina, Georgia coast, the enslaved Black captives launched a successful revolt, forcing the few remaining Spanish enslavers to ultimately retreat from the area back towards the Caribbean. Liberated Black people amalgamated into the local Native American society, and this was a new historic chapter in what would ultimately become the culture of foundational Black Americans. Since 1526, the culture of foundational Black Americans has been that of building, resisting, perseverance, and fighting for justice. FBA are exceptional people, and we recognize, celebrate, and give honor to that lineage. All right. All right, here's some more amazing pictures that's here. All right, and here is the itinerary. Let me zoom in so y'all can see. All right, here's the itineraries for Saturday, September 19, 2020 event schedule. At 3 p.m., the doors open, meet and greet the vendors. 3 p.m., co-host activist Jade Arendelle does the introduction. 3:45 to 4 p.m., Jade Arendelle interviews filmmaker Raheem Shabazz, and the topic is the school to prison pipeline. At 4 p.m. to 4:30, Jade Arendelle interviews naturopathic medicine professional Dr. Charm Timms, maintaining health during the quarantine. Both of these topics is worth the visit, you know what I'm saying, alone. You know what I'm saying? 4:30 to 5, activist lecturer DivineProspect. What's the next step after protest? All right, and that's my portion. All right, if we scroll over here, all right, the main presentations, it says 5 p.m. to 5:25, Tariq Nasheed, the importance of understanding FBA lineage. 5:25 to 5:50, educator lecturer Dr. Kabe Kamene, the unique history of foundational Black Americans. 5:50 p.m. to 6:50, economist Dr. Boyce Watkins, the importance of Black ownership. Author lecturer Jabari Osaze, the importance of reparations. That's interesting. I want to see what he got to say on that. Educator Professor James Smalls, the topic is the spirit of resistance in Black Americans. All right, over here to the right, Riza Islam, vaccines, and the truth about COVID-19. All right, 7:40 to 8:10, Judge Joe Brown, countering the attack on manhood in Black society. I want to hear this one with Judge Joe Brown. All right, at 8:10 to 8:50 is intermission. From 8:50 to 10 p.m. is a panel discussion and Q&A with all the presenters. And at 10 p.m., the event is over. All right, so those of you who are in Atlanta, you do not want to miss this event if you can make it out. Like I said, if you just want to come and check me out and hear me speak, start at 4 p.m. All right, you can come out and listen to me speak and chop it up with me after my session, and we can build. All right, shout out to True Rise in Israel for the donation. Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate that. Shout out to Renzo Roberson for the donation. I appreciate that. Man, I'm surprised where the haters at, man. They're not here tonight, the trolls. I think they only come through Friday nights, man. I think Thursdays they're more tame. Friday nights they out here strong. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that as well for the donations, family. All right. New Hope Family Investments LLC says, how do I give? If you want to give to the ministry, you can check there on the screen. You can go to our Patreon, which is www.patreon.com/DivineProspect, or the Cash App is there, which is $DivineProspect. All right. If you want to reach out to us for whatever reason, any concerns, if you need any assistance or whatever, email us scrolling there across the screen as well. It's kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. All right. And again, if you go in the description below, you also have additional information on how you can support us. All right. So I appreciate that, New Hope. Thank you so much. All right. Shout out to Benjamin Direwolf, Gem 4927 in the building. What's going on? Black Ave, LE. What's going on, man? Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. Shout out to Sean Fleming, Mr. E. He's in the building tonight. Make sure you guys check out Mr. E's Remedies. Go to his website or look him up doing a Google search and go ahead and support that brother's products as well. That brother has some great naturopathic products for the community, and you want to check it out as well. All right. Mr. Black Tastic says, do a troll call, roll call. I don't know, man. Shout out to Tazabot Eber. What's going on, man? What's going on? All right. So, you know, it's all good, man. My thing is, you know, I think what we're going to do for 2020 and the rest of 2020, rest of 2021, and just go see these trolls, man. You know what I'm saying? In real life, you know, invite these trolls out to the events or just, you know, meet up with these trolls, you know, and try to break bread and see where it goes, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just what we're going to do, man. You know, anytime, you know, anybody who says anything about me comes to Atlanta and they have a public event, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter who it is. You know, I'm there because I want to talk man to man and say, look, let's rap. What's the issue? What's your grievance? You're like, you know, you want to squash this? How are we going to go with this? And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking in righteousness this time. When I was out in the street, it was different. I wasn't walking up righteously to nobody. If I had a problem with you, it's like, when I see you, it's on sight. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it was when I was younger. Now it's different. You know, I'm much older. I put away childish things. So now I got to deal with people, you know, as a grown man and approach them and say, what's up? You know, my brother, is there an issue? You know, let's squash this for the better good. Let's move forward. You know what I'm saying? Is there something that I can help you with or assist you with? You know what I'm saying? That will help to deviate your attention to something more constructive, productive that you can do for the community or your family. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? So I'll either you know, have them reach out to me, get a contact number or email when I'm in a city, hit them up, say, yo, I'm here. We're going to be at so-and-so, come and check us out. You know what I'm saying? That's just what we're going to do. Or if we got an event, I put the event out, you'll see where I'm going to be at. Make sure you show up at the event. Let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk, let's build, let's see where it goes. All right. No problem. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it's going to be. You know, the rest of 2020, 2021, I'm just not going to keep entertaining these trolls. I'll just see y'all in person. Y'all see me in person and we go from there. You know what I'm saying? I think that's more adult-like than trolling back and forth like high schoolers. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never been that type to go back and forth with people online. It's like, well, just meet up. You know what I'm saying? Let's rap, let's talk. Well, whatever it is, let's deal with it, let's squash it or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's just, you know, just me and how I handle myself and how I carry myself and things, because people talk a lot of stuff online. And then when you see them in person, like the energy is different. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, my thing is at the end of the day, like I said, I don't see these people as my enemies. You know what I'm saying? If anything, I see them as misguided individuals that have a grievance, and because of self-defense mechanisms, they're projecting or displacing energy towards me that is not constructive. So I want to, you know, deviate them away from the destructive type of energy that they have and try to, you know, siphon it off to something that's more productive, you know. And I've been successful in the past and stepping into these trolls in real life, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we got a good rapport now, you know what I'm saying? I can't do that with all the trolls. There's too many of them. But certain ones that stand out, you know, we can talk like men in person, you know, and build like brothers and go from there. You know what I'm saying? And we can go down like that. Hold on, let me show you guys. I'm gonna put the link for brother Sean Fleming. I'm gonna put his link in the chat. There's his link right there. So anybody that want to patronize the brother's business with his naturopathic products, he has new hair care line. He just said that's out. His supplements and everything. The website's right there. It's MrEaseRemedies.com. Matter of fact, I'll pull up on the screen, you know, and help the brother out. You know what I'm saying? Let me show it on the screen. There it is right there. Oh, I launched the wrong thing back. So let me close that. All right, this is the website, MrEaseRemedies.com. MrEaseRemedies.com. Okay. All right, that's it right there. So if anybody else, you got a business, not-for-profit organization, product, good, service, or whatever, you need a shout out, or you want to come and feature on the channel and let the people know what you guys got going on, hit me up at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com, kingdomharbinger@gmail.com, and we'll go from there. All right. All right. All right. All right. So with that being said, Tazaba Eber says, I'm in Houston. I'm from Pomona, California. Most High Power brought me here. That's what's up. Thank you for joining us, King. I appreciate that, my brother. We'll be in Houston, Yah willing, in October. If all goes well, we'll be in Houston in October. All right. He said this is his first live with us. I'm glad you're here, man. When you get a chance, after the show is over, go back and binge watch some of the archive footage that we have on this channel, and I guarantee you'll find something that you like. All right. We got a lot of content in here. All right. Renzo says G-Con watching, Efinity Watchdogs are watching too. They always watching. They always watch. You know, I'm not even worried about them anymore. They always watching. All right. It's cool. It's cool. Shout out to Ahabala MOHA. Shalom, what's going on? My brother Vaughn Parker in the building. Shalom, shalom. One of the great mores over the Great Awakening in Orlando. They just had their little conference and retreat with the Moray retreat, man. And I wasn't invited. I'm just playing. It was for the Morays of the Great Awakening Assembly. So shout out Dr. Kenneth Howard doing a great work in the community, man. And again, I have no problem showing support and love for other leaders in the community, man. If they're doing a good work in the community, then I'm here to support them. You know what I'm saying? So Kevin Jones says, my sister's a photographer in Houston. Kevin, if that's the case, please have her email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. When we touch down in Houston, all right, we have some work, all right? We need some pictures. We need some footage. So if she wants a gig for our event in Houston next month, have her email us and we're going to hook up for you. Okay. All right. Ryan Smith says, G-Con couldn't even handle my questions on Sonetta. Not surprised. Definitely not surprised. All right. Shout out to Gideon Yarding, Eastwood L in the building. What's going on? What's going on? My brother JT Preacher, Gainesville, Florida in the house. What's going on, my brother? He was just out there in Detroit as well, kicking it with Dr. Kenneth Howard, man. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's good people's out there in Detroit, man. And I'll be back out there soon. All right. All right, family. So before we get started, let me show you guys one last thing, and then we can go ahead and we can talk. We could build a little bit more. I want to show you guys this real quick. Let me throw it on the screen so you guys can see. Hold on. Where is it at? I think it might be here somewhere. Actually, I want to show y'all two things, actually. And then we're gonna get started. I want to show y'all two things. So let me go here and let me grab it real quick. Okay. Here it is. All right, so I want to give some great news, okay? Because I had mentioned this already. I want to give some great news. Let me bring it out. Here it is, okay? All right, so here, as you can see on your screen, we had a Patreon giveaway. It's called 210 for 210. All right. As a Patreon, help us reach 210 patrons by September 30th and be automatically entered in a lottery giveaway for $210. Refer people to the best Patreon on the internet, www.patreon.com/DivineProspect. One fortunate Patreon patron will be chosen. Will it be you? Well, I want to say thank y'all. All right. We exceeded the 210 mark. You guys put the word out. We got more people to sign up for the Patreon and enjoy all the perks and the benefits that comes with signing up for the Patreon, which is, again, like I say all the time, is a 24/7, 365 after party. And because you guys helped us reach our target goal for Patreon, we're going to give $210, no strings attached, to one of our Patreon members. All right. You're about to get a lump sum of $210, Cash App to you, PayPal to you. You know what I'm saying? To your account to help you out with some bills or something else or whatever the case may be. You know, the trolls come in here and say, oh, you raising all this money. You know what I'm saying? Like they're investors, right? You're not obligated to open the books to them. For what? They're not even investing, right? They're just in the periphery. But those who are investing, we want to give back. This ain't even the first cash giveaway. We gave tons of money out before and gifts and all types of stuff. So we're going to give somebody $210 at the end of this month, going into the beginning of October. Somebody's going to win $210. So if you want to get in to be entered into this lottery, all you got to do is sign up for our Patreon. Doesn't matter how much you pledge. It could be from $5 to $1 million. It's up to you. Whatever you like to pledge. We have some tier suggestions, but it's up to you. All you got to do is sign up for the Patreon and you'll automatically be entered for this giveaway of $210. You're putting money in somebody's pocket. You find me another Patreon that's giving somebody else money. Who else is giving money back to the people, back to the investors? Who else is doing this? So for the trolls to come on here and talk all this craziness, we're giving you $210 to a Patreon. But the trolls, they're not going to get it because they're not signed up for the Patreon. So they can keep talking all they want. You know, I just want to see their resume. Like, what are you doing in the community? Like, what work you putting out there? Oh, I don't do this for money, and I don't do. So show me the work you do then. I didn't say you did anything for money. I just want to know what you're doing. Because if all you're doing is just typing stuff online, then you're not really beneficial to the community. So you don't even have a right to critique the people who actually put in work in, because you have nothing to show. You have no alternative. You have no substitute for what it is that's being shared here. And if you're going to say at the end of the day, it's the white man, like a spook, like he's a spook or spectre, and he's like, oh my God, the big bad boogeyman. The white man did everything. It's ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Or come over here and try to give us your astral theology and your conscious community rhetoric in regards to explaining and understanding the Bible. No way to substantiate that with any extra biblical data that can be added as a reference in a dissertation for a postdoctorate degree in any university. They would tear that thing to shreds. The peer review will kill that thing. But yet there's people in here that are saying those things. And it's cool. We with it. And again, we don't back down from nobody. We open up the panel and y'all could come on here and say whatever you want. Just make sure you got all your ducks in a row. You're not going to just come in here and just start shooting shots and don't think that we're not going to clap back. I mean, that's just what's going to happen spiritually, intellectually, and in the I would say within the confines of a brotherly love discussion, as we don't disrespect nobody in here. People come on here and attempt to disrespect me all the time, but I don't disrespect them. And I tried at the end of the discussion, I tried to, make amends. I tried to end off on a positive note. Most of the guests, they with it. Some of them don't. At the end of the day, I tell people all the time, as long as you're striving for righteousness and that's how you strive to live, you have no fear of anything or anybody. I'm never the offending party. I'm always on the defensive. And sometimes when people see me lash out, it's like, you have a situation where, this little kid is going and he's hitting on another kid. You know what I'm saying? Just hitting another kid. And then when the other kid chases him and hits him back, people see that. Oh, why he hit him back? Look why he hit him back. Y'all didn't see when he hit me first? Or maybe y'all wasn't paying attention to that. That's what they try to do. They play these playground games, these sandbox games. And we don't have time for that. We got to fix our community. We got societal ills to resolve. We got work to put in. You know what I'm saying? So for all the people that's talking and all the naysayers, I want to see you give somebody all this money. Just give somebody so much money. Come on this channel and give away $210 to somebody in my chat. And if you can match what I'm doing, then we can talk. If you're not willing to come on here and match and to give somebody something, then what are we talking about? What are we talking about? And don't ever demean the people that watch this channel or people in the chat. Never demean or belittle them as if they're intellectually incapable of discerning information for themselves, as if they can't discern spirits and energy and information and demean. It's like, I have an intelligent chat. The people in here, they're smart. They're intelligent. They're spiritually grounded. You understand what I'm saying? Never underestimate their discernment capabilities and never belittle or disrespect anybody in this chat that's contributing to the body of work that we're leaving behind as a legacy for the generation to come. You come in here, you demean, belittle, or disrespect this chat or people watching this channel, you've already defeated your intention or your mission because people aren't going to hear you after that. You treat people with respect, with dignity, and you do so with integrity. And when you handle the people like that, then maybe they'll incline their ear to hear what you have to say. But you come on here making a fool out of yourself, trying to make a fool out of them, trying to make a fool out of me, it's just not going to end well for you. You're just wasting your time. Find something more constructive to do. If you don't know how to do that, I'm willing as your brother trying to put you on a right path of guidance and show you how to do it so you can do something for your children. Especially somebody come on here and tell me they got all these kids. What legacy you leaving behind for them? Coming online and telling everybody the white man did this, white man did. Is that a legacy? Is that what you're doing? And I'm not talking about one person in particular. There's plenty of people who've made that same argument to me and their fathers. And I'm like, yo, is that what you're teaching your kids? Is that what you're saying to them? You sound just like the slaves on a plantation that would tell their children, listen to what master say. Listen to what master say. Don't worry about dada. Don't worry about mama. Do what master say. Master's in control. Master has power. Master this. Instead of the slaves that on the low, teaching their kids trades, teaching their kids escape routes, teaching their kids how to read, teaching the kids all these things. They're not saying, well, the white man made the route to go, the underground route. Yeah, the white man, he knows the houses because, there was white man allies there. Or no, I'm not going to teach you to read this book because the white man wrote the book. And I'm not going to teach you this. And I'm not going to. No, you equip that child with everything they need in order for them to succeed so they can create a paradigm that could cut into the oppressive force coming against our community. They can stand up against injustice. That is our due diligence and obligation to the next generation. You're not going to spook them out. or give them some kind of abstract, kind of, I don't know what kind of picture you're drawing for them, some kind of abstract information, trying to sound deep with knowledge, but it ain't practical in real life. It can't fix no problems. Because then I want to know, what are you doing with that information? Show me your life. Show me your face on camera. Show me your life. Show me what you're doing. You ain't got to come on camera and do that. When I meet you in real life, show me what you're doing. Tell me how you getting it in. Show me what you're doing. And if you can do that and it's something substantial, I will give you your props. And you earn my respect. I try to give it initially just for the sake that you're an adult. You're somebody in my community, but once you disrespect, then it's like, okay, you got to earn that respect. I need to see what you're doing in real life. So for all of these trolls, when I'm in your city, come to my event. I'm going to be in DMV area. All right. Next Saturday. I'll be in Baltimore, and that Sunday. Show up at the event and let's rap. And if you have a grievance or issue, let's hash it out. If you're doing something better, show it to me. Let me know what you got going on. And if you come to Atlanta, make sure you check in. You let me know, yo, Divine, I'm here in Atlanta. Oh, you were? You here? Let's go rap. It's that simple. Let's build as a family. Like I said, y'all are not my enemy. Y'all just misguided. You're angry. You're bitter. There's something wrong. I don't know what it is. Contentious. You think you're smarter, more intelligent than me? Fine. If you are, I don't care. What is your end game? What is your end game? What are you doing for your community, let alone your children? What legacy are you leaving behind? If you're struggling with this, but trying to persuade or convince me to come off my path, where I'm leaving something behind for my children. Matter of fact, I'm leaving something behind for my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. Scripture says that a prudent man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. The inheritance is not just only land. It can be knowledge, information, tools, skills, trades, access. That's the inheritance. So you got to show me that you're thinking 3, 4, 5 generations down the line. If you can show me that you have a game plan that's in effect, that's doing that, fine. If you even have a blueprint, I'll help you work on it. But if you're not even willing to do that, don't come out here and try to tell me what I need to think and what I need to do. That's not going to happen. And you're not going to disrespect my chat in here and the people that rock with KHM. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to let it happen. All right. All right. Shout out to Vernon, Mickey in the building. What's going on? Araya Israel. What's up? What's up? Let me see. Shay Marbley. What's going on, Shay? Kenesha Morgan. What's going on, sis? All right. Yeah, he do the scripture up. A good man leaves an inheritance to their children's children. Proverbs 13:22. So what does an evil man do? And like I say in my consultations, what is good and what is evil? When the Most High says he creates good, he makes evil. What does that mean? Well, the word there for good is what? Shalom, peace. The word there for evil is ra, or calamity, or something that's undesirable. The objective of the Most High is to keep things in order and balance. The objective of his children is to do the same thing, keep things in order and in balance. Anytime the scales are tipped, something has to be done. So Yah has to create dysfunction. He has to create a calamity. He has to create something as a thorn to remind you that something is wrong. Something needs to be done. This is important. Shout out to Willie Littlejohn for the donation. Thank you so much. Let's get these haters mad. They really had. The trolls are mad. Every time y'all give something, the trolls get mad. I don't know why. Why are they mad? Are they mad because nobody's investing in what they have going on? Well, if you build something, they will come. Build it and they will come. That's what the old adage says, right? Show us what you're building. But then when I get there, the trolls are like, no, we ain't got to put nothing on camera. You know why you don't want to put nothing on camera when I get there? Because you got nothing going on and you don't want the people to see that. This is why we have been unable to break the chains of bondage. Because we either give an abstract knowledge that cannot do nothing in real life, or we're spooking people out to do anything in life. That's not how we get down over here. Shout out to Yahweh Stop Son of Light in the building. What's going on? What's going on? New Hope, thank you so much for the donation, my brother. I appreciate that. Man, I think y'all need to stop, man. Y'all need to stop giving, because if you keep giving, they're going to get really mad. They're going to get really mad. Like I said, all they got to do is show up in here, match the $210, give it to one of y'all in here. Why not? Matter of fact, I got a gift card giveaway that I'm doing for y'all on the next live. A gift card giveaway like I've been doing before. I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to give some gift cards away. Just give them away to y'all. That's what I've been doing. So all this stuff that they're talking about, matter of fact, since you're up here right now, let's do a gift card giveaway. I'll do a gift card giveaway. Why not? Just for fun. Gift card. Amazon gift card. Y'all want to win an Amazon gift card tonight? Hit 1 if you want to win an Amazon gift card tonight. Hit 1 if you want to win an Amazon gift card tonight. See, they took all this stuff about us taking donations, but they never want to see what we're doing with it. When I tell them what we're doing with it, when I show them the proof of what we're doing with it, they never want to talk about that. So then why are you getting mad? What are you really angry for? Oh, probably because nobody's investing in you. That's why. And you know, misery loves company. Yeah, that's probably what it is. You don't want to win a gift card, hit 1. Let me give this to somebody. You want to win a gift card, hit 1. All right, one of my Patreons, you're gonna get $210 just for supporting us. We're just gonna give you $210. All right, and if you got a business, we're gonna do an investment in your business next month. Anybody has a business, email us kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. If you have a business, not-for-profit, organization, whatever, email us. And then next month in October, we're just gonna patronize your business. We're gonna invest a couple $100, patronize your business. Just to get haters mad. You know, just to get back to the community, like we've always been doing, but just to make the haters mad. So just email us, kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. You got a business, you got an organization, not-for-profit, you're doing something in the community, wherever it is, email it to us. Let us know what you got going on, and we'll put you in the lottery. We'll select you, and if you win, we'll go ahead and invest in what you're doing. But for tonight, somebody's going to win this gift card. At the end of the month, somebody's going to win $210, and the next month, we're just going to give back to your business. Just so we can just not just to make them mad, not just to spite the people that come in and hate, but just so that people can see that we care. And we've been doing this long before the haters came in here. I've been doing this. You know, we've been helping people all the time. People hit me on the low all the time and ask for help. I don't put people's names on blast unless they want to. That's their private business. And somebody shares something with us in confidence, we keep it in confidence. I don't spill the beans. The only time we talk about something when it comes to other people is if they put it out publicly. If they put it out publicly, it's already out there. But if it's in private, in confidence, we're not going to violate that just to prove a point to some troll. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're going to show honor and respect to our people in our community. All right, so y'all do want to win this gift card. All right, shout out to my brother Dimitri Elder in the building. That brother always support us, whether he has it or not. That brother's on the front line. If y'all on Facebook, you join the KHM Patreon book club, man. All right. Shout out to my brother Dimitri Elder, man. And the next time we go officially live, I'm gonna bring him on because he wants to share some stuff with us. All right. That's my brother right there. All right. Shout out to my sister Sharuka. Sis, I got your message back. I didn't get a chance to respond, but we're gonna make sure we take care of you. All right. We're gonna do what we can based on your inquiry, and we're gonna see what we can to assist. All right. I'm gonna see what I can do. She said, blast me. Now I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, we're gonna help you out, sis. All right, I got you. No problem. All right. Sean Fleming said, I have a Google Play card I can add to the giveaway. Hey, if you want to give it to somebody, Sean, it's completely up to you. I have no problem with people giving on this channel. You're welcome to do that. All right. All right. So here's the gift card. Now, this is what I want to do. All right. I'm gonna see who's been paying attention to this channel. I want somebody who's been here for a while to earn it. The next time I'll just give it out randomly, okay? But I want to see who's been rocking with us here at 12:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Who's been rocking with us for a while? This should be easy to y'all, those of you who are familiar, all right? If you go back, those of you who've already watched it, if you don't watch it, I don't know how you're gonna microwave this real quick, but it may be possible. I did a lecture last year. All right, shout out to the sister Kenesha Morgan for the donation. She says, keep the haters mad. I don't have to keep the haters mad, sis. I let y'all do it through me. I ain't gotta make them mad. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gotta make them mad. I'll just let y'all do it through me. All right. So I thank you for your donation, sis. All right. So last year I did a lecture, and the name of the lecture is called The Divine Ecological Revelation of the Dietary Law and Its Connection to African American Identity. I think that was one of the most powerful lectures that I ever gave. All right. Powerful lecture. If you have not seen it, you need to go back and see it. Right. But those of you who have seen it, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop the link in the chat real quick. It's not going to help anyway if you didn't see it yet, but this will encourage you to go back and binge watch on some past lectures, so that way you guys can win more gift cards in the future. We got a gift card here that we're giving away. All right. The next time we do the gift card, it'll be a random one. You just guess the amount and you win it. This time, we'll make y'all work for it. All right. Even the trolls, look, trolls, you can win. Trolls, you can win. Who do you know is generous to trolls? Trolls can win this as well. I bet you the trolls know more about the content of the channel than everybody in this chat. Oh man, this is funny, man. All right, so look, I did a lecture, and the name of the lecture is called The Divine Ecological Revelation of the Dietary Law and Its Connection to African American Identity. Okay. And at the end of that lecture, I gave a solution for heart disease in the Black community based on the dietary law. So anybody in this chat who have seen that lecture, if not, it's right there. You can go back and watch it. If you got a minute, you can watch everything in a minute. Let me know what is the name of the diet that is derived from the text that can catalyze the #1 killer of African Americans in this country. What is the name of it? Oh, Dimitri got it before everybody else. But Chris Benya, he's on point too. So what I'm going to do is, let's get them mad tonight. I'm going to give away 2 gift cards. Both of y'all win a gift card. Chris Benya and Dimitri Elder, y'all going to get a gift card. Both of y'all. All right. So email me after this is over, kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. And sometimes when I give these gift cards away, the people who win it say, I don't even want it. Give it to somebody else. I'm like, give it to somebody else. Yes, give it to somebody else. I'm like, okay. So I find somebody that has a need and I just give them a free gift card. Or on the street, somebody that's in need, here, here's a gift card. Somebody online trying to get some books or do something for their children for homeschooling. Hey, you want a gift card? Somebody just gift it to you. All right. So both those brothers got it right. So Chris Benya and Chris, I think you won something in the past too. Chris be on point, man. And so does both of those brothers be on point. Both of y'all email me so I can give y'all this gift card. If y'all want to pass on it, you want me to give it to somebody else, then I can go ahead and just give it to somebody else. All right. Y'all let me know what you want me to do with your gift card. But both of y'all want a gift card. So people are just going to get mad. Why are they mad? Every time they get mad, I be thinking about the mad rapper from back in the day. You remember that? The mad rapper? Tell him why you mad, son. Oh, that's funny. All right. So another thing that I'm going to get into is this book here. It's called the Book of Mormon. All right. Another testament of Jesus Christ. There are some people in our community that are gravitating towards this book. Why? Why are y'all fooling with this book, man? No, hey, I ain't got no issues with Mormons. Shout out to the Mormons. Y'all do your thing, but that's not our culture. Okay? That's not our culture. So why y'all fooling with this? What they don't tell you, when the Mormons come to you to give you this book, you need to ask them, hey, what about the Pearl of Great Price and Doctrines and Covenants? Can y'all give me those 2 books? Ask them for those 2 books, because those other 2 books really break down what the real doctrine is. The Book of Mormon. So we got people in the community that's gravitating towards this, man. I got their entire library from their website. They have a website and they have an app in the Android and Apple store. They have an app that you can sign up for, and they will give you all the information about a lot of the archive articles and stuff that they put out for the Mormon community, right? Or the Church of Latter-day Christ, the Church of Latter-day Saints of Jesus Christ. Church of Jesus Christ for Latter-day Saints. That's what it is. There you go. I'll be forgetting. I'll be bugging out. But there's some individuals in our community that say, oh, the Book of Mormon is our book. Do y'all know how this book was put together? Y'all know about how this book was put together? Y'all know who Joseph Smith is? What? You know who Joseph Smith is? Do you know Joseph Smith was a diviner? That he was a clairvoyant before he found those gold tablets? Did y'all know that? Oh, y'all didn't know that? Oh. And he had help from the angel Maroney to try and interpret what was on those gold tablets. Did y'all know that? Are y'all just saying that the Most High, so you think the Most High used Joseph Smith to put this together? Y'all believe that? Do y'all, what? What was that? Oh, the name of the books is The Pearl of Great Price and Doctrines and Covenants. The Pearl of Great Price and Doctrines and Covenants. And you need to ask them, okay, what was their position in regards to African Americans about 40 years ago? Ask them about that. It's written. I got the archive articles. But we're going to get into this. I'm going to do a series. We're going to deal with all these other theological angles, positions, right? And also, for those of you who are there, can somebody tell me what this book is? What group, denomination, organization puts this book out? Tell me who puts this book. Some people might be because there's some people that follow this, that be in my channel, that follow me on social media. Do any of y'all know what book this is? What organization does it belong? Let me see if somebody knows in here. Anybody? Rodney, don't spill the beans, but you're absolutely right, Rodney. Seriously, though. Does anybody know? Oh, Ice You Cold, absolutely correct. See this on the back? What does that say? jw.org asks for a free Bible study. I've been doing that for a long time, speaking of them, even as a Christian. What I'm going to do for y'all is, since I moved to my new location not too long ago, I'm going to set up a Bible study with the Jehovah's Witness. All right. I'm going to ask them, please send Black Jehovah's Witness to my house. Let me have a Bible study. I want to learn more about what does the Bible really teach? I'm going to say, yo, I received this book, man. I want to really know, what does the Bible teach? And I'm going to live stream it for y'all. Y'all want me to do that? If y'all want me to do that, hit one. Hit one if you want me to do it, because I have tons of the Watchtower Society periodicals, publications. I got all the false prophecies about Jesus coming back and, you know, the patriarchal forefathers coming back, and I got all of that. You know, the world's going to end. I have all of that. And now they're much more tactful now on how to disseminate. Even the apologetics for those false prophecies is really incredible, really incredible. But if y'all want to see that, hit one, and I'll invite some Black Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm going to ask them, please get the most astute elders that you guys have. Please send them to my house. I really want to know, what does the Bible really teach, and will I be allowed to ask questions? Right? Because I'm a very inquisitive person. You know, I'm a very, side being inquisitive, very critical thinker. You know, I read this and I'm questioning my faith, you know, and I need some affirmation. Okay. But yeah, this is the typical book that they circulate, you know, to give you some basics, and then they kind of build off of this book. But if you read this book and then don't forget the Pearl of Great Price, Doctrine and Covenants, then no matter how they come at you, you know how to respond. All right. So again, I'm gonna say, look, I was reading this, and I had a particular theological position, but after reading this, I'm like, wow, this is incredible. This is incredible. Can you guys come over and kind of edify me? We're gonna build. And the Mormons too, they do Bible studies too. So I'm gonna get some Black Mormons to come over too, and we're gonna build with the Black Mormons. All right. Need to talk to our people, man, that's involved with this stuff, and get them back to their culture. Okay. Torio, the Most High, TMH. Yes, I've heard that. I heard that doctrine before. All right. Thank you, Brother Ron. Mom, bring that out about the Book of Mormon. A lot of our families are falling for it, and I don't get it. Shout out to my brother Ya'alam Ben Yisrael in the building. I mean, now people fall for it because they're not aware on the providence of this, the origin of this. All right. They just think that what you have right now dropped out the sky. This is what the Most High ordained. Incredible. And there's a lot of people that's caught up in JWs. I know on my mother's side of the family, several individuals are part of the JW movement. You know what I'm saying? So these are two things that I was even dealing with as an apologist when I was a Christian. I was a Christian apologist, and I was dealing with this. But now, as an Israelite, I look at it much differently. Much differently. All right. Torio says, wait, there are black Mormons? Yes, they're black Mormons. Ask them about the holy underwear. Because, you know, when they go through the sacraments behind closed doors at their stakes, that's what they call them, stakes. Ask them about the holy underwear. I need some holy underwear, man. I need some. I want to ask them, where can I purchase the holy underwear? Because the holy underwear is not in here. This doesn't talk about the holy underwear. So I want to know about the holy underwear. How can I get the holy underwear? All right. That's what I want. Because even when I'm sleeping, I want to have the whole armor of God on, even if it's just the holy underwear underneath the armor. Maybe that's the part that we should put on when we go to sleep at night. Maybe that will also keep virgins chaste, the holy underwear. Yeah, I guess they literally took gird up your loins. They took that literally. But nonetheless, Deborah Newsom said, I lived in Utah for 5 years among them. Yeah, when I was in New York, I used to talk to Mormons all the time. You know what I'm saying? I used to talk to them all the time. It's the shirt right here. Shirt is I'm a Kingdom Harbinger. If y'all want this shirt, let me know. I don't sell this shirt anymore like that, but I got a few left over. But if anybody wants one of these shirts, I know somebody just hit me up on my phone about it. It's the I'm a Kingdom Harbinger shirt. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But at the end of the day, like I said, you know, we got to learn about these sacraments, man. These sacraments is interesting. We go into the Book of Mormon and read it and try to say, well, this stuff is not written. It's because they have elders that come out and they put out edicts and they got to subscribe to the edicts. Or if you guys know a Jehovah's Witness in your family and they're willing to come on the show, hey, we could do a live Bible study. My family members, they're caught wind of who I am. So they're definitely not going to come in here and have a bill with me live or public. But if you guys know any Jehovah's Witnesses or black Mormons, black Jehovah's Witnesses, let them know that they're welcome to come on this channel. I will give them the floor and they can lay out their premise, man, and we can get busy. All right. All right. So, and I'll also ask the JWs why a lot of their places of worship don't have windows. Really interesting. They don't have windows. But that's another story. All right. Ronnie says Mitt Romney always wears them. Yeah. I need that holy armor. Yo, y'all let me know, man. Yo, listen, that's one thing I don't see us doing a lot in the Israelite community, man. Where's our undergarment makers? Where's those making our socks? Making women's underwear, men's underwear, children's underwear, tank tops, right? Do we have people in our community making these things? We gotta outdo these guys. They got holy underwear. They leveled up to holy underwear. We don't even got none. If y'all know anybody out there that makes these undergarments for our community, let me know. Because I want to put that out there, man. We got to compete with holy underwear. If we can't compete with holy underwear, then we're gonna lose this battle, man. Think about that. Somebody that's going to war with holy underwear on. Think about that. That's real. I don't want no parts of nobody with holy underwear on, man. Y'all got that. Oh man, I'm just chilling with y'all. But look, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, y'all are welcome. If you know anybody that's part of Scientology and they want to come on here, y'all welcome to. We got black people involved in Scientology as well. They can come on here. People that's part of Christian Science, y'all welcome to come on here and have a discussion. We can talk, we can rap, man. Let's do it. I have no problem with that. You know, persuade me. You understand what I'm saying? Persuade me. Shout out to Up Next in the building. He says, boxers or briefs. Oh man, shout out to Tanisha Rogers. What's going on, sis? Thank you for joining. Chico Fontaine. What's going on? What's going on? Unortho, daughter of Zion. What's going on, sis? Yvette Powell. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, man? He says, do they glow? I don't know. But I know if I have them on, you're going to have that Michael Jackson feeling, man. Michael Jackson feeling. You're going to be getting up and doing a moonwalk and all of that. Shout out to Mariella Williams in the building. What's going on, man? Yo, it's real, man. You cannot compete with a doctrine that teaches that one of the sacraments is holy underwear. I mean, you just can't beat that. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. And you are absolutely correct. Correct, Brother David. He says, and they have significant symbols on their underwear. Yes, they sure do. They do. I just want to go say, yo, how can I get the underwear, man? That's all I want to know. What do I have to do? Because you know they have the Melchizedek priesthood and the Aaronic priesthood. Did you know they resurrected and restored the Aaronic priesthood and the Melchizedek priesthood? Did you know they got that in Mormonism? Did y'all know that? They got two priesthoods. You start off with one, level up to the other one. It's crazy, man. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Shout out to S.E. Thompson in the building. Thank you for joining in. I appreciate that. Sister Rochelle, Yah's daughter, what's going on? Yeah, you got to keep your loins girded, man. That's the scriptures. All right? Normally, Yah said they better have a lifetime warranty. Facts. Oh, man. Yalam Ben Israel, they do. I actually knew a Mormon, a person that used to be a Mormon that came out of it. He was actually in both priesthoods, the Aaronic and the Melchizedek priesthood. And he told me about a lot of the sacraments they would do behind closed doors, man. And a lot of it is connected to Freemasonry. And he says they're not shy about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So go back and look at Charles Tage Russell's. Look at his grave where he's buried, man. Your man got the pyramid on there and got all of these Masonic symbols on there. It's really interesting. Really interesting, man. All right. All right. Christian is crazy. He says, I got some holy underwear I need to throw out. Me too, man. Oh, man. Donnell, yes, he did. I didn't finish seeing it. But after I finish seeing it, then I'll give my critique on it. All right. Benny Bruce says, Aaronic priesthood, elaborate. Listen, I will. In a future segment, I'll go ahead and break out and have a discussion and let y'all know how these things work and operate behind closed doors, how these texts were put together, even their translation, their New World Translation, NWT. They like to read out of that. You got to know who Nathan Knorr is. All right. This is good information to know. When you have a discussion with them, you can just say, yo, blah, blah. Break it down, man. Let them know. All right. Torio, Freemasonry, I wouldn't say it has its roots in some of the rites of passage, you know, because you got the Blue Lodge with your first, second, and third degrees. A lot of that has, you know, symbolism from, you know, Christianity, ancient Egypt, Judaism, etc. You know what I'm saying? They just pull these things because they're trying to take somebody from a rush ashlar and make you into a smooth stone. They'll take you as a rough stone and turn you into a smooth stone. And whatever tools they can get from these different religions and cultures in order to do that, that is the premise of the Freemasonry idea, right? And the purpose of it came about during the Reformation period, all right? And critical free thinkers coming out of Europe, all right? Now, the guilds that we had in our communities existed. We had tradesmen and all of that, right? But they didn't turn it into speculative and operative masonry, all right? And I'm not saying people who are Freemasons, all Freemasons are not bad. I know people who are ex-Freemasons who came out of that and said, look, that has nothing to do with the Most High, right? But they take that information that they learned and they share it with me and others so that we are aware, right? So you can tell when you see, you know, people do certain things and say certain things, oh, that's a Mason. You know what I'm saying? We got tons of lodges out here. You know what I'm saying? In Atlanta and Georgia, there's tons of lodges out here. You know what I'm saying? I went by one of them one day, you know what I'm saying, to kind of inquire or whatever. So, I mean, just to kind of see, like, okay, let me see if they'll have the bill with me. And I always like to sharpen the things that I know when I talk to a Mason and the stuff that I learned from people who are Masons, right? Aside from the independent research that I've done, it's like throw some things at them to see what sticks and what doesn't. to improve my dialogue when I talk to future Masons. It's really hilarious, man, because I'll be saying it, I'll be talking and I'll just be saying something. I just like throw an Easter egg in and something I'm saying to them, and just see how they respond to it. Like, oh, and they put me on the side and say, yo, you a traveling man? It's funny, man. We have to be circumspect in how we walk in these last days, man. You know, we got to get our people back to their culture. Their culture is greater than anything that the Most High has even created. You know, when you get back to your culture, you get a clear path to the Most High, and you get the highest peak of illumination, being in His truth. So much so that he puts you above all other peoples, so you can be that example. That doesn't come from Freemasonry, doesn't come from being a Jehovah's Witness, doesn't come from Mormonism. It comes from going back to your cultural birthright of being an Israelite. All right? Facts. JW President Judge Rutherford put the winged disc on the JW book, The Finished Mystery. Facts. He did. And if you don't know who Judge Rutherford is, very, very interesting character. Go research him. All right? All right. So with that being said, family, you know, we just having fun tonight, man. Having fun tonight. But I want to show you something as well. Those of you who are not subscribed to Biblical Archaeology Review, or BAR, I suggest you guys go and get a subscription. Get a subscription to Biblical Archaeology Review. All right. These books are priceless, man. There's tons of information in these books that you guys need to see. You need to read. All right. There's so many finds every year in regards to Israel. It's incredible. So when people say Israelites are not real and the Bible's fake and those people didn't exist, I'm just like, just got to shake your head like, okay, whatever you say, right? They have this very interesting article here. I just don't like the imagery they got there because this is like Greco-Roman imagery, but it's called Wordplay in Genesis. Right, and word plays are idioms. All right, and unless you understand the culture, you're gonna misinterpret the idiom because you're gonna apply your contemporary cultural understanding to something that is displaced from your culture by hundreds and almost thousands of years. All right, so they even have breakout sessions like this in these magazines where they talk about things like this. All right. Again, sign up for the Biblical Archaeology Review. All right. I'm not here, you know, as an affiliate, getting any money, giving you any reference code or anything like that. I'm just saying this is a good periodical. Y'all need to get it because there's tons of stuff in here that concretely validate the culture that we subscribe to. Concretely. All right. So make sure you subscribe to that. All right. So let me see if there's any other sources, anything that I have here that I can share with y'all. Let me give y'all another old school book right here. Great book. I showed this before. It's called The Social Structure of Ancient Israel by S. Bendor. This is a phenomenal piece of work, man. This was published in Jerusalem in 1996. It's from the Jerusalem Biblical Studies. Okay. You can see here, my children broke the book in. And when they break the book in, that is the seal of approval that this is an official book. Because if they take some time to open a book up and look at it, they leave their mark. Okay, that's what my children do. All right. If they get access to it. Most of my books, I try to keep it away from them. But sometimes they get access to a good book like this, and they'll leave their mark on it. And when they do that, that means this book is official. All right. This book is phenomenal. Now, the main reason why I got this book, and I'm going to share this with y'all, is because when you do comparative cultural analysis or intercultural analysis, the objective of doing these studies is to parse out ancient Israelite customs, culture, etc., with cultures that exist today and see the frequency of affinity. And when you're able to line up that frequency of affinity, then you can build a case based off of migration routes, oral tradition, etc., that this group influenced this group either by amalgamating amongst the peoples of this group or the influence from this group came upon that group. So I was looking at various cultures in West Africa, trying to determine which cultures have an affinity towards ancient Israelite cultural practices, and which one of them can be an amalgamation or descendancy of these groups. You got to do a comparative cultural analysis. And that's why I brought this book up. Now, the reason why I brought this up is because one unique thing that you'll see amongst the Igbo peoples is that they had almost a pure democratic social structure. Okay. This book, and there's another book that I have, I got to pull it up on here, where it goes into the social structure of the Igbo. You'll see so many affinities, it will blow your mind. I didn't even bring this work out yet. Whenever Shema gets his presentation together and I put the finishing touches on mine, I'm going to go into this and I'm going to show you some stuff. All right. I'm going to show you some stuff. All right. So I'm just saying. Okay. Deep stuff. You'll need to get this book if you can get it. I don't even, sometimes it's not even available. And sometimes it'll be on Amazon and it'll be extremely expensive. Let me see if it's there on Amazon. Let's see if it's on Amazon. Yes, on Amazon. Actually, it's on Amazon. It's only $32 now. It's only $32. And you know what's interesting? Hold on. Let me show you my screen real quick. Let me show you what's interesting when I bring this up. When I bring this book up to show, let me show you what the interesting thing is. Let me show it to you. Hold on. Let me bring it on the screen. All right. Because y'all know you're going to get tons of references over here. Right. There's no hidden hand. When you put up this book, you see it's $32 there. Watch this. You see what book comes up along with it? The Igbos in Israel, an intercultural study of the largest Jewish diaspora by Remy Alona, who I know personally. His book comes up in alignment with this because in his book, he does the comparative cultural analysis. This is another good book. I'm surprised they're showing all this. The Land Before the Kingdom of Israel, a history of the Southern Levant and the people who populated it. Y'all need to get this book. This is another great work. Okay, can y'all see my screen? Let me blow it up a little bit more so y'all can see it. Y'all need to get this book too. This book is fire. So is this one. He has a new one I call the Hebrew Republics. All right, and this one I just showed y'all. Beit Ab. Now you know Beit means house, Ab means father, the house of the father. Very, very important book. Y'all need to get this. Okay. All right. All right. Like I said, these dudes come on here and they challenge. They're not aware of all this stuff I'm reading, man. It's like I have a million angles I can take them to. Another good book. I started going through these books again that I had brought up on the channel before. This book is called Contextualizing Israel's Sacred Writings. Okay, ancient literacy, orality, and literary production. You need to get this book. When I tell people that what we see in the text started off as oral tradition, the narrative started off as oral tradition. The prayers, the statutes, what we call statute, laws, and commandments, the prayers, the statutes, and the blessings and the songs. Those are the things that we find, like the statute, laws, and commandments. Those are things that was written down by scribes, but the narrative was oral to explain the cultural context of the things that they received in the form of blessings, prayers, statutes or code of conduct, all right, and songs. Those are some of the oldest parts of what we read in the narrative. The narrative is a much later part. But if you want to understand the orality of those writings, the literacy of how it was penned down, and the production of that literature, this book goes into detail about it, right? You see this SBL? Well, SBL? I'm part of this organization. Let me see if it says right here. Yeah. SBL. Get this book. This should be on Amazon too. Get this book. All right, get this book. I have another book I want to show y'all real quick. Hold on. Let me show it to y'all real quick. Hold on. Oh man, I guess I'm just gonna show books tonight. Yes, I don't know. The Tomb Builders of the Pharaohs. Y'all need to get this book. Do you know why you need to get this book? Because the Deir el Medina, that's the city where the commoners, the workmen that worked on the tombs, and during the New Kingdom, they left behind their culture and how they operated. It's not all of the glamorous stuff that you find on the walls and the stele and all that. This is straight from the lives of the common folk. So when you have people in that conscious community that think, oh, we were all kings and queens and they're talking about the 1% to 2% that existed at that time. When you read these books, these were middle-class citizens. And we even have references to people who were poor. There were more people, poor people, than there were middle-class people, and way less elites than they were middle-class people. You're going to see how they were treated. Do you know why tomb raiding occurred? You thinking the tomb raiding was Indiana Jones? No. Did you know the commoners, the workmen, started raiding the tombs because the kings stopped paying them? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? They weren't keeping the kings wasn't keeping an eye, so they said, look, you're not going to give us a pay, we're going to take our reparations. That's what they did. Go research it. I'm not making this stuff up. This is a great book. You need to get this. Another good book, I've mentioned this before, The African Memory of Mark, Reassessing Early Church Tradition. Y'all need to get this book. You see this? All right. Another staple book, because I have my libraries over here. Just grab a whole bunch of books. But I'm going to show you this book. This is one of my favorite books. See this author, Teresa R. Kemp? I met her in person. I bought this book directly from her. You want to see Israelite culture in West Africa? Because she traveled to West Africa, spoke to the locals, took pictures, and all. It's all in this book. This is a body bag. I ain't pulled this out on nobody yet. You see how many pages this is? You see how many pages this is? With primaries, all types. I'm not even going to show you. Wait, I don't want to show you this yet. I'll show you the name. There it is. Secret weapon right here, man. And I'm showing it to y'all. Body bag. But we're not going to break it out yet. Not yet. I want somebody to get froggy. Then we can go into primary. Let them get froggy first, and then we go into primary. All right, y'all. Just having fun with y'all tonight, man. Showing y'all some books, man. Got more books, too. You want me to keep showing books? Hit one if you want me to show a couple more books, man. 7 minutes. I can go over a few more books with y'all. Show you some other books. Hit one if you want me to show you some more books. And let me know. Julian says, I prefer this kind of show where I'm learning. I hope you don't entertain bugged outs tonight. I won't, Julian. I promise I won't. Not tonight. All right. Y'all want to see some more books? Hit one. I'll bring some more books out. And then I'll answer some questions for 15 minutes. And then we're going to end this early tonight. All right. Christian Mayfield says Patreon. Whatever of these that I have in PDF form, I'll add it to the Patreon so y'all can read it. But this is why I encourage people sign up for the Patreon, www.patreon.com/DivineProspect, where a lot of the books that I have in my digital library that stem from physical books will be placed on the Patreon as well. You're getting tons of books. You get to read them at no cost straight from my library. All right. So let's do this. I'll bring some more books out. Let me get some more books, man. Let me get some more books. Okay. This book here by J.S. Gordon called The Land of the Fallen Star Gods. Now, I'm going to say this. It says J.S. Gordon held a master's degree in Western esotericism from the University of Exeter and was a senior fellow of the Theosophical Society of England, where he lectured on ancient history and metaphysics. Known for his in-depth knowledge on ancient Egypt mystical tradition, he wrote several books, including The Path of Initiation. Now, this guy is not of I would say a secondary source that I refer to in any information in regards to concrete in Egypt. But if you want to learn about mysticism and what some of the initiates of ancient Kemet believed about their origins, again, this is metaphysical stuff. This book is awesome. Yo, this book is mind blowing. When I read this and it was breaking down a lot of the stuff, like the opening of the mouth ceremony, the pyramids, the construction, the symbolism, this book goes hard in the paint. Now I use this for those deep folk, those deep Kemetic folk. I'll be pulling stuff out of this and be using it on them, because a lot of them get their, their conscious community stuff from books like this, and they think they're deep. So all I'm going to do is show you the cards that they're playing with. This is one of the books that they use. All right. Let's keep going. See this? This is an old throwback book I got. It's called The Nutrition Almanac by Lavon J. Doon. Also, another good reference. Let me show you guys this. Since I'm just showing y'all some stuff tonight. I'm just showing some stuff. Didn't even know I was going to talk about tonight, but I guess this is where it is. Two good reference points. I show this when I'm at my chapters. Those of you coming out to DMV, to the DMV chapter launch, I'll have these there as well. You can purchase these at a FedEx store. Like the FedEx store, they sell these too for like $7, $8. And these gives you your ABCs, 1, 2, 3s in regards to nutrition and vitamins and minerals. I tell people most ailments can be treated, because most ailments are a form of malnutrition or a nutrient deficiency. Okay. And certain symptoms that you have are not really a disease. It just means you're lacking something in your diet. The body is yearning for something. And because of this environmental pollutants and strains and stresses, it's weighing on the body as well. And other stuff that we consume that is not nutritious affects us and causes the pathology for disease. But when you know your 1, 2, 3s and ABCs, you say, oh, I got this ache, I got this pain, I got this. Oh, I must be lacking this. So when you go to the doctor, you want the doctor to do a blood test and say, okay, doctor, I want you to let me know my nutrients and minerals that's in my body right now. Show me what the levels are. They show you what the levels are, or you can go to an independent clinic. You don't even have to be at the doctor, and say, okay, let me see what's in my blood. Let me see what the nutrients is flowing around. About, okay, so I'm deficient in this, I'm deficient in that. All right. Add to the deficiency, see what happens over time. This is what we do when we do our customized regimen plans for people that sign up for our naturopathic eating services. All right. We could give some books. Here's an old school book. I think an old school. I bought it maybe about 10 years ago. A good book. It's called Hermeneutics, Principles and Processes of Biblical Interpretation by Henry A. Verkler. This book helped me to become an apologist, a Christian apologist. There's still some good stuff in this book. I ain't gonna lie. This book still has some good stuff. It talks about covenantal theology in it. It goes into the literary figurative interpretation. It goes into the syntactical lexical analysis. It goes into structuralism. It goes into all this deep stuff. This is a heavy book. And if you want to understand Christian apologetics, this book right here is fire. It's called Hermeneutics, Principles and Processes of Biblical Interpretation, Henry A. Verkler. Now, I ain't going to spend all night showing you everything that's in my library. I'm just going to be honest with y'all, because I'll be here maybe for the next couple of days. I'm just not going to do that. I just pulled a group of books out of my little library section, and I'm just going to show y'all some of these books. Okay, I can't go over everything. Right, this book is called The Dead Sea Scrolls. A new translation gives you a translation of the Dead Sea Scrolls, so you can see it. So anytime you see those brackets with those periods, that's fragments that are missing. All right. All right. This is a good book. I think y'all should get it. Another throwback oldie but goodie is called Icons of Evolution, Science or Myth by Jonathan Wells. Why much of what we teach about evolution is wrong. Somebody gifted me this book. All right. For those of you who's into the theistic or the deistic or the theological philosophy behind evolution and the creation of man, and how the theological position is juxtaposed against what science says, this book right here gives some good insight. All right. Now remember, my position, I'm a theistic evolutionist. That's my position. All right. I believe that the Most High, he crafted man. All right. Just like the ancients taught it, and not just in ancient Israel, but in all throughout the ancient Near East, that some kind of deity formed man, shaped man, brought man into existence. But also there were other hominids that existed at that time that were created as well. And we just got Homo sapiens sapiens was the one that is left today, because, they have the blessing that the deity placed upon, the Adam and Eve, or Adam and Hawa, and their lineage succeeded all the other hominids that they either intermingled with or they conquered or whatever. That lineage is what succeeded, because that lineage is what was blessed. So that's my position in regards to that. Other things that come about, and even micro changes, right? I don't believe in macro changes, only because I believe in empirical science. We must see it happen. If it happens over millions of years, nobody could observe that. However, anything that can be determined to be a form of macroevolution, anything along those lines, everything is still being guided by the deity at the end of the day, right? Here's another good book right here. A Hebrew Text in Greek Dress. So every time we have people say, oh, the New Testament is a Greek work and the Piso family created it and Josephus contributed to it, and just read this book. They obviously don't know what they're talking about. I also told you about the other book. Was the New Testament really written in Greek? That is available on the Patreon. This book right here, you guys need to have it, read it. It puts a lot of that foolishness to bed. Now, this is a throwback book called A Guide to Christian Apologetics by Doug Powell. I had this book for some time. This is an excellent, you need this book. Even though I'm not a Christian no more, this book is fire. You know why this book is so good? Let me show you. See this? Monotheism. And it has this checklist for different worldviews. This book is fire, man. Fire. It says, where did the New Testament come from? It's a great, quick study guide, man. It gives you archaeological corroboration. You see the Cyrus cylinder up there, the black obelisk of Shalmaneser, the Taylor prism. Okay. Let me see. It goes into agnosticism. The different worldviews, man. Atheism. Does the shoe fit? This is a great book, man. This is throwback, old school book. Okay, let me see what else I got here. Oh, another companion book. It's called The Holman Quick Source Guide to the Dead Sea Scrolls by Craig A. Evans. All right. Again, another book that is laden with images and just breakout things, and just goes into detail about the Dead Sea Scrolls. All right. Again, this is called The Dead Sea Scrolls, or A Guide to the Dead Sea Scrolls, a Holman Quick Source Guide. All right. Another book by Cyril Aldred called Egypt to the End of the Old Kingdom. Pre-dynastic into the Old Kingdom. This is an excellent book if those of you are interested. I'm mostly intrigued by the Old Kingdom. The only reason why I deal with the New Kingdom mostly is because it's contemporary to the Israelites, right? And then the Late Kingdom as well. But the Old Kingdom is fascinating to me. This is why I got this book, because it was recommended to me when I went to one of these Egyptology conferences. So I went and I bought the book. All right. This is the organization I'm a part of. It's called American Research Center in Egypt, the 67th annual meeting. All right. That I was there. All right. And I got a few of these because I went to 3 of them. All right. This right here gives you a synopsis of all the speakers and lecturers that was going to be there and what they spoke on. Even got a video up on here when I went to this particular conference. All right. This is excellent. I also got this book here by Bill Petty, PhD. I interviewed this guy. He's actually on my channel. I interviewed him, and he put together this hieroglyphic dictionary because he was traveling to Egypt for years, and he decided I need to learn the language in order for me to actually read what's here instead of believing somebody's interpretation. So he put these guys together. I interviewed this guy. He's on this channel. Check it out. Go and look for the video. All right. It's an old school book. It's called Destruction of Black Civilization, Great Issues of a Race from 4500 BC to 2000 AD by Chancellor Williams. I know a lot of you probably have this book. If people in the conscious community, like this is part of the starter kit for the conscious community. This in pre-colonial Africa by Sheikh Anta Diop. You know what I'm saying? There's the starter kit, right? This is one of the books in the conscious community starter kit. So if you want to know some of the stuff that people say from the conscious community, you got to read Chancellor Williams' work. Even though recently, some people on the Amun Ra squad have challenged some of the stuff in here, but that's another story altogether, right? Bill Petty also did this Egyptian glyphery, a sign list-based hieroglyphic dictionary of Middle Kingdom, right? Again, I interviewed this guy. He's on this channel. Check it out when I went to the conference, all right? Let's keep going. A book that is a must-have. It's called American Negro Slave Revolts by Herbert Aptheker on Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, Gabriel, and others. People don't tell you about all the revolts that these slaves have done. There was tons of revolts. It's only certain of them got publicity. The ones that were not successful are the ones that typically don't get the most publicity. But there's some, like the one that they have a festival in New Orleans every year to celebrate one of the biggest slave revolts in American history. I brought that out on social media before. You need to check it out. All right. A Star in the West, a humble attempt to discover the long-lost 10 tribes of Israel, preparatory to their return to the beloved city, Jerusalem. This is like one of the starter kits as well for Israelites. This is a very, very good book too. It's a very interesting read. All right. Let me show you some more. All right. Those of you who want to learn the Medu-Neter, get this book called Egyptian Hieroglyphs for Complete Beginners by Bill Manley. Very, very easy to read book. Will get you up and running and reading it in no time. And when I say no time, you got to devote yourself to giving time and you'll be able to pick it up. All right. This is another good book here. It's called The Time Rivers, an ancient map of the time revealing the secret legacy and destiny of human civilization by Gordo Adachi. This is another like those fringe authors. But it's a good read because he goes into the mathematics of, the great rivers such as the Euphrates, Tigris, the Nile, and other great rivers, and shows you that these things were terraformed by deities and man was placed there to oversee these things. It's very, very intriguing, especially with the fact that he uses primaries from these civilizations that substantiate the things that he says in here. It's really, really mind-blowing book. The Time Rivers. Get this and read this from front to back. This is a great book. All right. And I think that's everything. That's everything I'm going to show for tonight. I got more stuff, more books over there that I have in that bin. I have tons more books, more on that shelf. But I'm not going to go through all that tonight. All right. We'll be here forever if I go through all of these books. Right. But as you'll see, I have this Stone Edition Tanakh that I read from whenever I'm not digital. I just read from it and just build from it. It's a great book because it gives you the Ibrit on one side and it gives you the English translation on the other side. And when you start to learn the language on this side, you can start fact checking translations. That's the fun thing about having books like this. Not an interlinear. Interlinear, I suggest for people who are just getting into the language. But after you're familiar with the interlinear and you can make your way through the interlinear, then you'll get a book like this where you can have both the translation and just the Hebrew and go through it. All right. That's all I'm going to share for now because I'm getting tired. These are all books that I've read from front to back. Some of them I still got to get back to freshen up on some of this stuff. But I guess in future lives, I'll show you maybe 30, 40 books until I'm going through all my physical library books. I don't know if you want me to do that or not, but I have hundreds of books, almost 1,000 books in PDFs, ebook format. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm a little over 1,000 now, maybe about 1,010, 1,012, something like that. And I'm adding those books slowly to the Patreon, so you guys can read those books. All right. And those books are worth a lot of money. Okay, so you can sign up for the Patreon, see what it is. And that's all I got for tonight. If you guys have another question or two, I'm definitely going to do that. Rodney says, when are you coming to Houston? Also, I'm starting an assembly in Dallas under the Great Awakening Assembly banner. I'd like to speak with you about a few things regarding the DFW area. That's fine, Rodney. Email me. Let's talk. There's people that's part of several congregations that's also part of KHM. KHM is a ministry organization. It's not a church or congregation. So there's people that's part of organizations as far as churches is concerned, and they're part of KHM. So if you want to be part of KHM and part of the Great Awakening Assembly, there's no conflict there. We just take the stuff that we talk about on this channel and show you how to fix problems in the community. And if you want to go someplace to worship, then you go someplace to worship. We don't interfere with your doxology. You understand what I'm saying? We just show you how to take these things that we talk about and actually use it to fix problems in real time in the community. That's how we get down. All right. Shout out to my brother, Brian Gate, the ESQ in the building. What's going on, Brian? Shout out to Tony White. All right. He says, do a show of just book showing. Man, we're going to be here for a long time. Exactly. I got tons of books, man. And then I got another collection in New York that I had to have shipped down here. You know what I'm saying? That's been there for almost 7 years since I moved down here. It's just so many books I have up there. Up there, I think I got about maybe between a friend of mine who holds some of my books. I have so many, some that I have in storage and some that I have at a family member's house. We're talking about maybe 300 to 400 books that I have. And that's just in New York. Here, I have maybe about 120 books, 130 books that I have here. I just showed you some of them. This is not even some of the ones that's over there in that bin. But those 3 bins over there in that shelf, they hold a lot more books. So if you want me to do another show with just showing books, I can do that. I have no problem with that. But there's tons of stuff that I would like to give. And like I said to y'all, I mean, what I'll start doing is I'll just start giving books away. If you don't want me to start giving books away, I'll just do some sessions where I'll just give some of these books because I've read them and I can always get them at a later time. And I'll just give y'all some of these books, man, just as a gift. I'll just start giving it to y'all because the trolls don't think I give enough away. So I'll just start giving some of these books away. Some of them I have duplicates of too. So I'll just start giving these books away if y'all want. I just start sending books away. All right. So Akmalak says, Prospect, are we supposed to be doing any other feasts besides the ones in Leviticus 23, 1-8? All right. Now, when you say it's supposed to be, so I'm going to tell you what my position is. Okay. My position is I only keep what we find in Devarim 16 or Deuteronomy 16 and Vayikra, Leviticus chapter 23. Those are only feasts that I keep. Anything outside of that, like Rosh Hashanah, that for me is the first day of Abib, right? I don't keep this traditional Rosh Hashanah, which is modeled after the Farmer's Almanac and tradition of the start of the fall harvest. And I talked about this in my lecture that I did on the feast and everything before. Hanukkah, I don't keep Hanukkah, right? But if somebody wants to keep it, that's fine. They want to do it. Purim means lots, right? I told you about that. Oh, you casting lots. What does Purim mean? Oh, okay. All right, cool. Just checking. I don't celebrate Purim. I don't celebrate Hanukkah. However, if we're invited to something for Purim or Hanukkah, I'll go, to patronize and spend time with individuals. But I don't keep Hanukkah. It's not mandatory. I don't keep Purim. It's not mandatory. Rosh Hashanah, which is about to come up, right? This weekend is Rosh Hashanah. That's why I'm going to be with those Jews. I don't keep that either. Okay. My Yom Teruah, my Feast of Trumpet, that's kept in October, right? My Yom Kippur is another feast that I don't really keep like that. I mean, the affliction of souls, I created a halakha out of that. And I can get into maybe unpack that when next month when those feasts come in. But Sukkot I keep as well. I keep Pesach. I keep Chag Matzah, right? The Feast of Unleavened Bread. I keep Shavuot, which is the Feast of Weeks, which is a little bit different because Feast of Weeks and Yom Kippur are like those halakha-based feasts. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't really keep them the way they're prescribed because you're not in the land. And for Yom Kippur, there's no priest. So what I do is in memorial of the work of the high priest after the order of Melchizedek and the work that he's performed, and in remembrance of what the high priest used to do that Yah prescribed before the temple was destroyed, I syncretize them. And then I keep it in regards to that. I have a halakha how I perform that. You know what I'm saying? And remember, a lot of the Mishnah rulings were after 70 AD. There's actually Mishnah that's preserved in regards to things that were ruled upon after the temple was destroyed. The Mishnah was fully codified in 200 CE. And then from 200 CE to 500 CE, you had the Gemara, which was created, and your Talmud was completed in Babylon. This is history. This is important stuff that we need to know and be able to bring out on a whim. All right. Support my brother Brian Gaither, www.letusmakeman.net. Please go there and support these conferences because these are great ways to build up young men. All right. Irregardless of what your theological background is. All right. So shout out to my brother for doing his work in that arena. All right. So Jack Max, aka Sean, says that Ezra and Nehemiah had the Leviticus text. If it were only Deuteronomy, how do you think they dealt with the discrepancy between the two legal works? Now, excellent question. This brother studies intensely. So every time he asks a question, it requires thought. So the position is Ezra and Nehemiah, when they found the book, because they found the book that they found, what from my position was, it was parts of Leviticus, mostly some of Numbers, and some stuff of Exodus, right? So Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers. Exodus, Numbers, Leviticus, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers. Those are the three books that they had a lot contained in whatever that scroll was that they found. Now remember, the word book is a linguistic gloss because books did not exist during Ezra and Nehemiah's time. The word is sefer. A sefer is a scroll, all right? Sofer can mean one who scribes, right? Sefer can be a book, but that triliteral root just means something that's written, just like we have something that is written as opposed to something that's a book, which would be ketub or katab, which means to write. Ketub is a book that's written. So those are two words that are similar, right? Sefer and keteb, all right? Or katab and safar, right? So they had elements that we find today in Leviticus text. They had elements that we find that's also in Exodus and what we find in Numbers. Now, what was in Deuteronomy, that was not finalized until the return. That's my position. And what we find in Bereshit was not finalized until the return. But they did have elements of Leviticus. Leviticus, I think they had almost the entire scroll of Leviticus. And then they had parts of Numbers and parts of Exodus, right? But the final compilation and codification of what we have in Genesis and then what we have in Devarim were oral traditions that were captured and penned down to make the Pentateuch, which is in Greek, the five, of the Chumash, which is in Hebrew, to put those 5 books together, all right, to have it in the final form that we have today, right? But the Levitical code was already in existence. They already had that laid down. Because remember, I told y'all the oldest parts of the Chumash is the legal codes, the prayers, the songs, and the blessings. The narrative was oral. So a lot of narrative was not finalized until post-exile. All right. So that's my position on that. And I went into detail on this on a previous show. All right. So LE says, what scriptures do you use to back up the new moon being a full moon? Well, I'm gonna break out on this. Again, in Leviticus 23, I did a session with a brother, I forgot the brother's name, it'll come to me, talking about the festivals, whether they should be kept only in the land or they can be kept outside the land. Akmalak, are you familiar with the Elephantine Papyri? If not, look up the Passover letter and read that. These are Northern Tribe Israelites in Elephantine Island They had their own little temple there as well. They were competing with the Amon-Ra priests who had their own temple there as well. They had an old community, and they wrote a letter to Jerusalem, right? This is after the exile, when they were coming back to the land, trying to stay in sync with the feast that was done in Jerusalem. Why are they doing that if it was believed that they could only keep the feast in Jerusalem? This throws all of that out the window. There was no correspondence back from Jerusalem saying, you guys need to come here and keep the feast. This ecumenical idea of keeping the feast came from, guess who? Josiah. Did you know that? It came from Josiah and his reforms. When the northern tribes, a good amount of them were taken away into captivity, some were still left in the north. He created this ecumenical feast that he wanted them all to come and engage in the feast of the south. That's what Josiah did. Because if you go back to Shemot and you read Exodus chapter 12, you'll see that the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread were things that were done in your home amongst families. It was part of the familial cult before it became a national set-apart day. And when you're able to peruse through the cultural or the material and non-material parts of the culture and put it together and be able to reconstruct the history of the people and its application today, you understand these gems. I've brought this out tons of times on this channel to explain this to you. You understand what I'm saying? So not to deviate away what I was saying previously, what scriptures do you use to back up the new moon being a full moon? Now, I'm going to say this last piece and I'm going to end off since we're getting close to the feast days. And I know these are questions that people have on the feast days. And I'll go back into the feast days, right? The fall feast and all of that and my position on that and the calendar. So what I'll do as I share this, let me bring up the calendar for y'all. And if y'all don't have the calendar, email me at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com right there on the screen. And you can get this calendar I'm about to show you. It is beautiful. And it breaks all of this stuff down, right? But let me show you the calendar. And then as I show you the calendar, I'm going to start to share some stuff with you. So let me bring the calendar on the screen real quick. Hold on one second. I'll bring the calendar up. We can take a look at it. And I'm going to end off on this, right? Let me bring up the calendar. All right. So y'all can see it. All right. Here's the calendar right here. The Pre-Israelite Sacerdotal Metallurgical Calendar 2020 edition. Right? This is a beautiful, beautiful calendar. There's nothing like it in our community or any community for that matter. But let's scroll down through. Let's get all the way down to the fall feast. Okay, let's get to the fall feast. All right, here we go. We got Ethanim, right? Here's the trumpeters blowing trumpets at the sighting of the Ethanim moon. Because when you go to 1 Kings chapter 6 and the last few chapters, there is a moon called Bull and there's a moon for Ethanim and there's a moon for Ziv. Okay, we get down here. He break day 1, he break day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a Shabbat. All right, now what we have here is we have the Gregorian calendar, right, which you see in the day portion, and we see the Hebraic calendar superimposed onto it, which is at top. So bottom is Gregorian, top is the Hebraic calendar, right? Over here on the left is the Moedim details, the scriptures that validate these points that we have here. And then you have a legend that's down here on the left, okay? So when you ask me about the full moon, right, we bring in the new moon as the full moon. Well, why do we have that position, right? So I'll explain this to you while you guys can sit here and just gawk at this beautiful calendar, well put together calendar. Everybody that helped me out with it, who's paired up with KHM, did an excellent job on this. You know, they brought the vision I had of the calendar to life. Again, if you want this copy of this calendar, email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com so you can get a copy of it. Okay. So the new moon's the full moon. It derives like this, and I'll break it down for you. And after this, I'm going to end. Okay. So several things. When I was, before I lectured on the calendar, I was trying to run away from it because I didn't really want to do it. But I held to 2 positions before I finally laid down this calendar, right? The first position is I held to the conjunction first sliver or FVC, first visible crescent moon. And then I transitioned over to the Enochian calendar, which, just denigrates the moon and uplifts the sun. Right, the moon's not even relevant. It's not important. It's really just there for agricultural purposes and so forth. Right. So I had a position where I was subscribing to the conjunction moon, which is the dark moon, and the conjunctions because it's fully aligned. This is why we see it being dark. And then the FVC, the first visible crescent. And these were positions that I had initially held when I first came into the community in early 2013, 14. And I transitioned from that into 2015 to the Enochian calendar. And I transitioned from that fully into what we currently have today. And the reason why I did this because when the Most High was pushing for me to do this, and I'll say it relatively speaking, I felt divinely inspired to do it. I had to re-examine things from scratch. I said, look, I'm going to flush out any presuppositions that I think about this calendar. Let me work inductively with the facts from scratch and see if the algorithms that I set up, which is my hypothesis, and I feed things into it, let's see if it gives me the same output. And if so, I'll rock with it. If not, then I'll correct it. So in looking at this, there was 3 major points of contention that I had with what is currently in existence, right? Those 3 major points of things I could not validate in the Chumash, right? The first 5 books, is number 1, the phase of the moon. The text never gives you any particular phase of the moon. Now, we have words in Hebrew like Saharon. You have the diminutive. When you hear on, it's the diminutive, which means a smaller version of it. We have that word for crescent because there were camels and other pack animals that would have these crescent jewelry or necklaces, right? So that word for crescent is there in the text. Never used to describe the phase of the moon, ever. Full moon is not even there. So crescent is not there. Conjunction is not there. FVC is not there. The Chumash first of books doesn't give you any of that information. It's not there. So you have to be able to validate it extra biblically. The word for month is yarach or yeriach. The word for month is chodesh, which comes from the root hadash, which means to renew, to repair. Okay, repair what? We're going to get into that. So that's important, understanding that. So I was like, there's no phase of the moon in the text. It's not there. Text is not explicit for the phase of the moon. So anybody that's saying, well, it's saying this, well, where are you getting that from? You're not getting from the textual data. You're getting from presuppositional data, extra biblical data to harmonize with the textual data. This is why we deal with reconstructing the ancient pre-Exilic Israelite culture. That's the first point of contention. So, where people getting these phases of the moon at? It's not in the text. Second thing is, I read all the way up into the exile, and I say, okay, they got 4 names for months. Abib, Zeb, Ethanim, and Bul. First month, second month, 7th month, 8th month. That's it. It's only 4 names for 4 months for whatever priestly calendar they were using. Where these other names come from? Then I read later on in post-exilic books, you got your Esther, you got your Nehemiah, you got your Ezra. Say, there's different names for these months. Where these things come from? Your Nisan, what is that? Your Adar, you got Adar, you got Nisan, you got with Tishri. Where these months come from? Something happened. Before exile, it was only 4 names for 4 months. After exile, they got all these other names. What? These are Babylonian names. So I said, oh, it's interesting. Okay. Third point of contention. I see that each one of these pre-existing calendars, before I graphed this one up, dealt with what we call intercalation. There's no prescription for intercalation in the first 5 books or the parts of the Tanakh before exile. Intercalation is not there. So if there's no phase of the moon that's specific, the months change, the name of the months change, and there's no prescription for intercalation. Intercalation is you add, like if you do a purely lunar calendar, you have 354 days, you're 11 days and a quarter and some change off. So what you have to do is every 2 or 3 years, you have to add a 13th month so you can stay in sync with the seasons. This was a practice that was being done in Babylon. This was also being done in Assyria. Interesting. But the text, we don't have anything about intercalation. It doesn't exist. It's not there. So if it's not there, where is somebody getting this information from? The text doesn't tell you that. So I said, okay, cool. If there is whatever this pre-exilic model of a calendar is, the priestly one, not the civil calendar, not the regnal calendar, because there's three types of calendars that we find in the text. The main one we're talking about for the Moedim or the gatherings is the priestly calendar. The priests were not pastoralists, they were not agriculturalists. There's no need for them to keep a 12-month calendar. The Giza calendar shows you the agricultural cycle in 12 months. That's a civil cycle. The priest wasn't dealing with that. The priest's job every turn of the season is to look at the celestial signs, the terrestrial signs, and when everything is in alignment, say this is the beginning of months. That's how it worked. And they did that into the conclusion of the priestly calendar, which was Bull, which is the 8th month. Hence why we got a name for Bull, the 8th month, because within Abib to Bull, all the feast days are complete. There's no need for them to keep counting after the 8th month. So what they do is wait till the next turn of the season, look for the celestial and terrestrial signs. When they align, pronounce that this is the first of the year, first day of the year. There's no need for intercalation. And if you go do pre-exilic nomenclatures, then we only keep those 4 months. We keep Abib because it talks about the green in the air, the start of the barley harvest, transitioning into the wheat harvest. All right, that's your first month. Your Ziv, which is your second month, because that contains the second Passover, which we see in the text. That some people was unable to do it in the first month, so they get the second month to do it. That's why you have Ziv there. That's why there's the name for the second month. And then you count that to the third month. And the third month, you do what? Your Shavuot. It's called month 3, right? But the most important feasts are done first, second month. You got it covered. At Danim, 7th month. All your 4 feasts are completed within the 7th month. Done. After that, the 8th month, Bull is here. That's it. Once the 8th month comes, all the feasts are completed. No need to keep counting. You wait for the signs again the next turn of the season. No need to intercalate anything. You go back to the restored names of the months, which is Abib, Ziv, first, second month, month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6, Ethanim, 7th month, Bull, 8th month. Done. That's it. And then the phase of the moon, which is the most controversial. How do you justify that? Now, there's several ways to bring that out. I'll bring out 3 points, and then I'll end off on this for you to go back and do your research or go back and look at the series that I have. All you got to do is look at the playlist. I have a series where I deal with the calendar, right? We're going to do it like this. 3 points. First one is looking at what we called Israelite literature, Judean literature, right? So amongst the Dead Sea Scrolls, and I showed y'all the book for the Dead Sea Scrolls translation. Where's that book? All right. Dead Sea Scrolls. Right, amongst the Dead Sea Scrolls, we find the Book of Enoch fragments. We find the Book of Jubilees that's there, right? Book of Enoch is part of oral tradition that was penned down during the Hasmonean dynasty, right before the turn of the century, right? During the Hasmonean dynasty, you have a period of time where you have the Enlightenment period of the Israelite community. We start to have a lot of these Hebrew writings, right, in Greek, right? And some of the oral traditions they've now been captured. Because remember, when the Greeks came over, and you had the pig sacrifice before you had the Maccabean revolt and so forth, a lot of the Greeks burned the works and the scrolls of the Israelites. This is in the book of Maccabees. It talks about this. So now when they overthrew the Greeks and they set up their own dynasty, you know what I'm saying, for almost over 100 years, now what they started to do was producing all of these other works, right? They were taking their oral traditions and penning them down. One of those oral traditions that came down was the book of Enoch, all right? So the book of Enoch that's written predates the actual fragments that we have found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. One peculiar thing in the book of Enoch, and one thing that you notice when you do textual criticism, is that a lot of times what happens is the people were very religious and dogmatic and what's the word I'm looking for? Taboo. Certain things were taboo. One of the things that's taboo is if you are reconstructing oral tradition based on some books or works that have pre-existed as a template and you add to it, there are older traditions that may exist in it. And what the scribes did was they didn't want to cross it out because if it's divine, they don't want to erase the divine. So what they do is they leave it there and they add more to text, okay? From the oral tradition, social memory, oral tradition via social memory that they're able to put, the scribes are able to put together and lay down as a final work. So what they find in the calendrical text of the book of Enoch is a very strange situation where you have the moon waning. So the start of the month, the moon is full and then it wanes in 14 steps. But yet we have in that same calendrical corpus of the book of Enoch, where it talks about the moon waxing. It's like, so you see scholars look at this, say, oh, what's going on? Some kind of discrepancy. And I've given resources on that. Matter of fact, I guess I could show you one of the resources on this that I have. But if you join the Patreon, the books are on the Patreon, right? Let me see if I have it here in front of me right now. That I could just pull out and show it to y'all. Let me see if I can find one of these books here for y'all. Here's one of the books. This is one of the books. It's called Calendar and Community, A History of the Jewish Calendar from the 2nd century BCE to 10th century CE by Sacha Stern. All right. Excellent book. You need to read this so you can understand. You see, it has the let me zoom in so y'all can see it. All right. It goes into solar and lunar calendars from biblical origins to the end of the Roman period. It goes to biblical sources, Hellenistic and Hasmonean periods that I just referenced to y'all, Ethiopic Enoch, Slavonic Enoch, Jubilees, Qumran sources, the calendars, Qumran sources in calendrical practice, which is extremely important. Hence why I don't subscribe to the Enochian calendar anymore, because what we have in the literature did not work in practice. All right. And this is well known by scholars that look into the Qumran scrolls and understand that work. The 1st century and beyond, the end of the solar calendar, Philo of Alexandria, Josephus, 2nd to 6th century CE, literary sources, 1st to 6th century CE, inscriptions and documents, Jewish and non-Jewish calendars. It goes into the Persian calendar, the Ptolemaic calendar, Josephus, Babatha, the Jewish calendar, and the Roman Empire. It goes into intercalation, which I just mentioned to y'all. It goes into Enoch, Qumran, and other sources on page 49. It goes into lunar solar cycles. This book has the works. Goes into the new moon and some definitions, calculation, observation, the Jewish new moon, the Megarians. That's my second point. Megarians also was a group that existed amongst the Qumran community, and they actually started their year on a full moon in the middle of the week. Full moon, middle of the week, started the year, which people say when you go back to the book of Enoch, that old tradition that talks about the moon waning, right? In the middle of the week, the full moon comes in, starts off the month. They actually picked it up and they carried it out. The Megarians. Megarians were actually spoken about by Arab historians in the 9th, 10th century CE, much later. Talking about this older sect that existed, and then told you some of their practices, which you're able to go back and once you parse it out, take it and compare it to what you see in Qumran and say, yo, these people existed during this time. And the older traditions that we find within the Dead Sea Scrolls, they were actually keeping. So the full moon reckoning at the start of the month was an older tradition, hence why the discrepancy stays there in the calendrical text of the book of Enoch, and it's not touched with. It's not hampered with. The Megarians was an actual sect that actually kept this, because all the other groups outside of them started to go towards the new Second Temple method of the reckoning of the beginning of the month, which uses the conjunction of the first visible crescent. This book goes in depth. And if you want this book, again, you go to the Patreon. This book is there. And there's also other books. I have another book here. Again, the objective is to do a comparative cultural analysis or comparative cultural analysis or intercultural analysis, where you're looking at two cultures and you're juxtaposing and comparing things that pertain to a particular subject matter. In this case, the calendar. Let me show you another book. Great reference. I'm going to show you two other books, right? Here's another book. It's called Calendars in Antiquity, Empire, States, and Societies by Sacha Stern. The same author that did this one too. And these are for Oxford Publishing. Excellent books. It goes into the Babylonian calendar, the Egyptian calendar, the Grecian calendar, the Persian calendar, the Julian calendar, fragmentation, Babylonian, Julian calendars in the Near East, dissidence and subversion, the Gallic, Jewish, and other lunar calendars. This is an excellent book. You need this if you want to talk about the calendar. Let me show you another work. This one is called Calendar and Chronology, Jewish and Christian, Biblical, Intertestamental, and Patristic Studies by Roger T. Beckworth. See this? It goes into the Sabbath and Sunday, the question of the primeval Sabbath. It goes into the days and its divisions. It gives you all this of the Sabbath and the Lord's Day as weekly festivals, memorial days, days of worship, days for works of mercy, days of purposeful rest, Easter and Whitsun, the origin of the church's earliest annual festivals, the date of Christmas and the courses of the priests, the perpetual calendar of the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Qumran Psalter, extremely important, Judaism between the Testaments, the stages of its religious development. If you don't understand this period, we cannot talk about the calendar. We just simply can't talk about it. The year of the Messiah, extremely important. Hellenistic chronology, Pharistic chronology, the 70 weeks in the coming of the Messiah, the date of the crucifixion, the misuse of calendars and astronomy to determine the chronology of the passion, a time, times, and half a time, the revelation of the prophet John, and the 3.5 times. This is an excellent book that goes through all of that. You must read it. And there's another book, and I'm not going to tell you what that is. Sign up for the Patreon, you'll get it. It's 4 books. My go-to books. Now, there's other academic articles that I could show you that's written on the subject matter, but these 4 books are extremely important that when you read it, you will understand the various calendrical systems in its historical and cultural context. And then after perusing through these works, parsing out this information, doing your due diligence of research methodology to try and understand what's going on, and reconstruct it and compare it against what we have in the textual data, you'll be able to see that it faithfully, what I've constructed here, it faithfully represents. LE says, yep, I'm on Patreon, so I'm definitely checking these books out. There you go. And that mystery 4th book is on the Patreon. I'm not going to say what it is. Patreon members, y'all know what it is. 4 go-to books. Read them from cover to cover before you have a discussion about the calendar. See, what happens is when people argue about the calendar, it's just that they're simply misinformed. You have to understand the development of the culture over periods of time, right? From the primitive state all the way into the state that's there today. You have to know all the changes that occurred. You have to know the sister cultures and what they were doing, like, and how one influenced the other. Like, if you don't do that study, you're just going to argue from a dogmatic position and say, this is my calendar position and yours is wrong, so let's argue it. No. Let me educate you on this. Let me edify you on this. And let me explain to you the development of these calendars over time from this culture. Okay. All right. Those are the 4 books you do. And that's why I tried to take an objective approach with learning the culture, so I'm not stuck in one paradigm, arguing against another paradigm. You can explain both paradigms. How do you explain the Enochian calendar paradigm and the conjunction FVC paradigm that's loosely based off the Hillel II calendar? How do you harmonize these things, explain these things? Well, when you do this type of research, you're able to talk to these people and explain to them, yeah, I understand why you have this position and this, and this is high points. However, here's the pitfalls. Same thing to this position. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Here's the pitfalls. Why don't you consider this third option, right? This is based off of a reconstructive methodology of looking at and perusing through all the various calendars, right? Through Israel's history and sister cultures, and being able to reconstruct something from scratch. And it's not something new or novel. It's something that's primitive, something that was always being done. However, it was overshadowed through various periods of development in Israel's history. So this FVC conjunction moon situation came about after they came back from Babylon. The Enochian calendar arose because they were speaking against the lunar calendar of the Greeks, the Macedonian calendar. This is why they look at the moon and say, no, the moon ain't important, because the Athenian calendar, the Macedonian calendar, it bigged up the moon. Why? Because when Alexander the Great was conquering Babylon, he bumped into the Chaldean priests and learned the calendrical system they were using, where there's a heavy emphasis on the moon, and he used that to influence the moon that they had there in the Grecian Empire. This is why when the Hasmonean dynasty was set up, and you have these break-off groups that's moving to Qumran, that separate themselves from society, what they're doing is taking down the oral traditions and bigging up the importance of the sun, because they felt that the sun was delineated, the sun was degraded, the sun was put down, and the moon was uplifted. And this is why you see Jubilees talk about that my people is going to forget the times and the seasons, and they were reconstructing their history because they believed that what the Greeks were doing was demoting the sun and bigging up the moon, and they believed that that was heathen, pagan, goyim worship of the moon. And they said it's the sun that you got to look at. 364 days. And this is why you'll see when you go and look at Enoch was taken up when he was 364 years old, which aligns with the strict solar calendar, 364 days. Interesting. So when you do these studies, you understand the development and how these things came about. When the Israelites went into Babylonian captivity, they stayed there for 70 years. Within those 70 years, they created communities. One of them is Al Yehuda. You might have heard me mention this before, which was called the city of Judah. Right? They create their own city in there. In order for you to survive in captivity and do trade and business, receipts had to be taken for record keeping, and you had to use the calendar system in the country you're in. So they was in Babylon. Babylon had a calendrical system, so the Israelites adopted that. That's why when they came back out of Babylon, they were speaking Imperial Aramaic, because that was the lingua franca at that time. This is why when they came back, there was still some of the older generation that was still alive, right, that knew the Hebrew. When they found a book, they was able to read it in Hebrew, but when they read it in Hebrew to people who were Aramaic speakers, which was the young generation, they didn't understand. Hence why the elders had to give understanding to the younger generations who did not speak Hebrew as a first language. It then became a liturgical language over time. And they took these Babylonian month names with them. They took this reckoning of the moon with them. These all things came with them. But before that was a different system. That's what we focus on. That's what this calendar reflects. But until you are able to do this type of objective research, you can't explain how these things came about. And this is that intense type of studying, which is extremely important. All right. Kevin Jones, email me and I'll send you what I have. Okay. So to say they didn't count any day beyond bull is difficult. So Kindred, if you have a source to show me that they counted a ninth moon and had a ninth month and had a name for it for the priestly calendar, let me know. I didn't say the civil calendar. Civil calendar reckoned 12 months. I gave you the Gezer calendar as a reference guide. Show me the ninth name of a reference to the ninth month of any pre-exilic source. Give it to me, ninth month. Pre-exilic source. Give me the ninth month and give me a name for it if you have it. All right, my brother, shoot it over to me if you got it. The ninth month. Shoot it over to me if you got a ninth month. Let's see if that had any relevance to the priesthood. All right, shoot over to me the ninth month if you got it. All right. You start to see a lot of these things in regards to the ninth month was influences that was coming from people that was interacting with Babylon. The first reference you'll get to the ninth month is 1 Chronicles chapter 27, verse 12. The ninth captain for the ninth month was Abiezer, the Anethotite of the Benjamites, and in his course were 20 and 4,000. They mentioned the ninth month has nothing to do with the feasts or festivals. There's a regnal calendar I just mentioned. There's a civil calendar, which I just mentioned, all had 12 months, but yet the priestly calendar was only 8 months with no intercalation. If you're telling me that there was 12 months, how many days were in each month? Was there 30 days in each month, 31 days in each month, a combination of 29, 28, 30, and 31 days like we have today? We have 28, 29, 30, 31. If these were months that existed in a full year calendar that was priestly, please show me the name of the month and show me how many days were in that month. How are you reckoning that? Because if you're reckoning by the moon, then you have 354 days, which means that every 3 years you'll be shifted over a period of time where your feast won't align with the actual season. Because in order for you to have Abib, you have to have barley. In order for you to have your third month, Shavuot, you have to have wheat. You can't have these if you're keeping these feast days in the wintertime. It doesn't work that way. How does that work? It's not going to function properly. So Truth Comedy says in Josephus, he mentioned that he taught the Hushites and Misraim or Canaan the Mazaroth. Yes, he mentions that. He references that. And also in these books, it talks about Josephus's calendar and what he was talking about. The need for certainty is greater than the need for truth, which is why the research isn't being done. Shout out to Jordan's Cadet for always bringing clarity by simplifying things and summing up everything I just said. Shout out to Kingdom Networks. I think that's Minister Carnes. If that's Minister Carnes, shout out to you, Minister Carnes, for being in the building. That's another one of my codees in regards to this calendar, right? So I'm simply trying to show you guys, when you do objective research, it takes you out of the dogma and you're able to reconstruct something that is faithful to its initial intent, because you understand the development that the community went through based on political stresses, social stresses, environmental stresses, etc., and why they have these different calendars. There's a reason why they exist. To tell somebody you wrong, and I'm right, that's wrong. You show people the development of it and show them, walk them through it. Explain to them how it developed over time. Let them see these things. All right. All right. So Akmalak, you keep asking questions about Leviticus and the feast days and the diaspora are mostly done as a memorial, as we see performed in Elephantine Island via the Elephantine Papyri from the northern tribes that live there, part of the mercenary camp that lived there, right? Who was sending correspondence to Jerusalem, ensuring that what they had for Passover was correct and unleavened bread was correct. They was keeping it outside the land. And they wouldn't do that if, oh man, we're supposed to be in the land. They would just do an aliyah to the land, right? They would do a hug to the land, right? They would just go and do a circling and go to the land, or a hajj in Arabic. They would just go and pilgrimage and come back. But they didn't do it, which means the cementation of those, all three of your males to come back to the place where he sets his name, even though it never says Jerusalem there. It says the place that he places his name. It doesn't say Jerusalem there, but the place he places his name is something that is finally cemented during the Ezra Nehemiah's period, because they were trying to get all the Israelites to come back to the land. So if they have the priests, the Zadokite priesthood, and they're the priests that are there that are now finalizing these texts and codifying these texts and using it as the text that all the Judeans should be using, this is why we have what we have. Again, only through objective study can you see it this way. If you are in the dogmatic stage, you're not going to see it this way. It's going to be very difficult for you to wrap your mind around this. However, I gave you 4 book references to get you started, right? To get you started. So knowledge of the scriptures is the foundation. Extra biblical data is there to explain what's in the text. That's implicit. That needs explicit explanation. And then you go into the material culture and try to get some more details, because we go into material culture too to reconstruct the calendar. This is why I mentioned the Gezer calendar as one of them. There's other ones too that was found and discovered. All right. So I'm going to end off in that. I think we did a good amount of time tonight and going live. Again, family, tomorrow night, I can't promise that I will go live. I will do the best that I can. But given what's going on Saturday, it may not happen. However, I'll do my best. Wanted to do this check-in for Thursday night real quick with y'all, chat with y'all, talk with y'all for a little bit in case y'all don't hear from me on Friday. And then we'll have another live stream session soon. For those of you, just so you know, we will be in the DMV area next weekend. All right, next weekend we'll be in the DMV area. We have the flyers out everywhere. If you're interested in the flyer, email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. But if you're in the DMV area, please converge to Washington, D.C. for Friday night when we hit the streets. For Saturday when we do the event launch, the chapter launch. And then Sunday, we're going to be in Baltimore. You can meet us in Baltimore when we're doing the seminars for the credit repair and the naturopathic health consultation. All right. So please come by, show love, show support. Even if, you don't want to be part of the organization, that's fine. Meet some new people in your city who are like-minded, who can hold you down, you know what I'm saying? And, we'll just be there to show our hospitality to y'all, you know what I'm saying? Because we love our community, you know what I'm saying? So that's it. Inalienable Right says, are there any African calendars? Yes, they are. There are actually books on it too that I have, but I'm not going to unpack that tonight. You can access that on another live, and I'll show those references to you if you're familiar with that. Okay, because that's important as well. All right. Ronnie says, is the Houston date set? No, it's not set yet. And it won't be set until after DMV. So I don't know until after the DMV trip a definitive word on that. Okay. Because I want to stop traveling at a certain point and focus at home. So I'm trying to get as much done as I can to touch bases, set up these chapters so we can get more help and assistance with KHM so we can grow bigger than what we are now. And we could touch more lives and change more communities. But we need you guys' help to do it. All right. If anybody's interested in signing up for our administrative team, please email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. If you have administrative skills and you want to contribute it to the Most High's community, to his people, to his children, we could use your help. Please email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. And if you want to support our ministry, You can see this information is there going across the screen as well as the description. You can do it that way. And if you guys need anything from us, please email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com so we can hold you down. All right. So I love you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this session. Thank you guys for staying up with us to 2 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, rocking with us. And until next time, family, much love. Do a replay if you want to go back and see all those books and those references. Everything is there for y'all. I know you're going to enjoy any of those books that I told you about because, I mean, I don't hide anything. I show y'all what it is I'm working with so you can work with it as well and see if we can reason together and come to the same conclusion. That's the only way we can get out this dogma that's holding back our community. Okay, and working together as a unified front because I believe we can do it. All right. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Till I see y'all again. LE said, I'll be there in DC coming with the crew. Bring everybody and their mama if you want to. We okay with that. All right. And also we are COVID-19 friendly, which means we'll have all the precautions in place for anybody who's concerned with coronavirus. All right. So you don't have to fret when it comes to that. All right. So shout out to By Hearing and Hearing By, my brother Lav Judah in the building. Star, what's going on? Jetson Silencio, what's up, family? Thank you for rocking out. The Elder Vernon Mickey in the building. What's going on? Same day, inalienable rights. Even you, Akhmalak. Peace and shalom to you as well, my brother. All right, family. So thank you for watching. Till we meet again, family. Please stay tuned. I have a momentous weekend, very busy weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm gonna try to capture as much as I can for y'all, bring it to this channel and bless y'all with it. There may be some Patreon-only exclusives as well. So make sure you sign up for the Patreon so you can get some of that. The 2 individuals that won the gift card giveaways, email me so you can get your gift cards. All right. And like I said, $200 reserved for a Patreon member from the lottery that we pick at the end of this month. So somebody's going $210. And then we're going to look at the business giveaway in October. So we are giving back to the community. Don't listen to these trolls, man. All right. Don't listen to these trolls. And I know most of you on here don't listen to the trolls, but the trolls try to come in here and deceive people and deviate them away from the mission, which is autonomy. Getting back to truly being set apart is being autonomous. And that is the means that we use here on the channel of teaching. That's the end. The end game is autonomy. That's how you're truly set apart so that y'all can receive you and you can receive him. That's how it works. All right, family. So thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Until next time, peace and shalom.